Hi, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. Mostly drunk. Always encouraged, but never mandatory. I am your host, Jedi Master Grayson, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host and brother, Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, y'all. I'm doing pretty darn good. How are you doing? We also joined by our best friend, Squid.
That's right. He's practically family, but y'all just hate him because he's light-skinned. What is up, Squid?
Not much. We have some stuff to talk about this week, huh?
Oh my gosh, we have so much good stuff. In the words of AMPM. Bantha, what's up?
What up? What up, Lil Frothy?
Curs and Purrs, what's up? Lil Frothy, what's up? Oh, what happened to Lil Frothy's comment?
It went in first, so we can't see it. But we saw it. We did see you when we were getting ready to pop on here. So shout out to Lil Frothy.
Shout out to Lil Frothy.
I hope you're home. And not driving right now.
Don't text and drive.
She had to go out to Cuco. Yeah, Rancho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
today. Crazy,
man. Oh, that's a drive.
That's a mission, dog. And she's actually
Just,
on a mission.
living that workaholic's life out there, huh?
That's right, man. That's right. Sorry, this is not the Bad the Butt show. Excuse me.
Literally the only thing I know about Rancho Cucamonga.
Hey, I've lived in California for 13 years. The only thing I know about El Segundo is that Q-Tip left his wallet there one time.
What up, Eric?
Also, Rancho Cucamonga, the newest Big Brother winner is from there. So, another claim to fame.
Oh, yeah.
And shout out to everybody.
Practically famous.
Shout out to everybody that's watching right now, because I know everybody don't comment. Shout out to the new subscribers. Right. Shout out to the old subscribers. Shout out to the niggas who quit subscribing. Shout out to all of them.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who's watching. People who are watching instead of watching the World Series or Monday Night Football. We really appreciate you. Yeah. And if you're watching both at the same time, that's also cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about watching
World Series tonight.
Yeah, World Series is on right now, but it's not really on because the Dodgers have.
But which game is it? Which game?
Dodgers and the Yankees.
Game 3, it doesn't fucking matter.
It does. I'm telling you why it doesn't matter, because the Yankees are done. Fuck the game.
Yeah, they about to walk. The Dodgers about to walk away with this one.
Eric said, "Laugh out loud. Fuck sports." And
sports ball.
Shout out to Morgan for pushing that comment through so we could see it.
Yeah, when I said sports, Eric was basically like,
"Care? Are we caring about that?"
Guys, we have a really great show.
That's a good new drop.
All right, I was very proud of that one.
The new drops coming.
We got the new drops,
you, baby. No new sounds.
Spoiler, but we miss you. What's his name in that show? I know It's Alan Tudyk. We miss you, Wash.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
I'm a leaf on the wind. Watch how I fly.
What does that mean?
Probably the best thing that Joss Whedon's ever done is that movie. But guys, 100%. Guys, we have a really great show for you tonight. We are talking about The Penguin. We are talking the new FX series Grotesquerie, and we're talking. What's the other one? Agatha Explains It All. And as always, we're talking shit.
Yeah, buddy.
I watched Agatha first, like when it actually came out, so it's like the first is further back in my brain.
That's fair.
It must
I
be.
think we have the same issue this week. I mean, it's coming out for Halloween. I think we got to watch it day of.
Yeah, for sure. You got to.
Yeah.
It's festive. Yeah. And same thing with the Grotesquerie is that the finale is going to be dropping on Halloween as well.
Which is going to be interesting because they're doing a little bit of a Christmas theme, which is they're giving us a present because it'll be over.
Oh man, I'm very excited to talk about Grotesquerie, which is our first show topic of the night. But before we get into the nitty and the gritty, we do need to get some house cleaning out of the way. I just want to remind you guys that my review of Joker 2 is up. If you want to check that out.
I'm so upset that you went to see that.
Well, clearly you have not watched my review.
No, he's.
I wonder what thing's going on.
I'm just gonna say it now since there are only 8 people watching.
Don't do it.
No. Make them earn it.
Okay.
Earn it.
Okay. I'll let you guys earn it.
Earn it earnestly.
There's only one person who was like audibly upset by my review so
he
far.
wasn't.
So I mean, not upset, but
He
just
actually
like
he actually gave you a really good compliment.
yeah,
And actually said that, speaking to what we're talking about, he was like, even though, but you know what? I stayed, and that speaks to how good your video was.
Good Joker 2 review.
Exactly, right? That was I was like, damn, we need to get him on the show. He needs to be a writer for the whole damn channel.
That was pretty cool. It was the first time where someone was like, I almost turned your shit off, and I was like, that's a compliment. That's a nice thing. But what are the other plugs we got to get out of the way? Oh, I just want to remind you guys to peruse through our merchandise store where you can find hats, hoodies, shirts, mugs, and all kinds of shit with our stupid name on it. You can find that in the merchandise tab on our homepage, so don't forget to check that out. And also, don't forget to check out the Bantha Bunch every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time with your favorite cousin's favorite cousin, Bill. Do you know what you guys are going to be talking about since it's the spookiest day of the year?
We're going to have something special for Halloween for sure. And we're going to be dressed up. And we're also going to be talking about that Chris Brown documentary. Because that seems.
Is there anything spookier?
Yeah, that seems pretty spooky to me. Nothing spookier than vape and sexual assault. nothing gets spookier than that. So
it's a pretty upsetting topic.
Make sure you're there every Thursday at 7 p.m. I actually decided to stop going at 7 p.m. because I'm like, fuck it. Like, so maybe 7 p.m., maybe 8 p.m. Who knows? But you should make sure you subscribe. And that way you get it.
Yeah, hit that notification bell so you definitely get a notification when the show does go live. Or if you want to check it out, the next day, that's also cool. We just appreciate you watching.
I just feel like you don't love me as much, but I will. I appreciate everybody who watches.
Yeah, a little bit of Bill's soul dies when you don't watch it live, but that's fine.
I'm not using it.
He already sold it. Let that demon get less of a return on investment. Come on.
Exactly. Put some tread on that bitch. Put some tread on it. Wear it out. Wait, what is it? Break it in.
What else? I guess that's all of the house cleaning that we got for.
Get you this merch, baby. I know you already said it, Alex, but get y'all this goddamn merch.
Yeah, get the merch. Get the merch.
And look, we got
merch.
We got NerdsAtNite merch coming soon too. I'm gonna make sure we get that going. I just hadn't set it up. I need to do it. Ain't nobody else gonna do it. So I need
get some good merch at night.
Merch at night. I like it.
Get some good merch at night.
But for now, let's get into our first topic of the night.
Before we do, I forgot about one thing, just real quick. So the first 3 episodes of the Yakuza show came out. They came out last Thursday. I watched them, and they suck. Don't watch it. That's the review. It's crap.
Oh, that's disappointing. I got a notification. Correct. I got a notification the other day when it came out. I was like, oh, shit, that's right. Jeff was telling me that I need to watch this. And then I didn't.
And now I'm telling you don't.
Mm-hmm. So you're a fan of the video game, right?
I'm fucking obsessed. So the last game that came out was called Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And it was the first one in the series I ever fucking played. And it was so good that my final save time was over 200 hours. And 2, I started playing the games from the first one. And I'm on 5 right now. And I've got to finish 6 more games before February when the next new game comes out.
Damn.
Wait, but why?
That sounds complicated.
Because then I will have played every game leading up to the newest game, and I will know the entire background.
Then I will have played every game.
I went into the newest one, which was amazing, without having any idea what the backstory was. So it was like, it's still an amazing game, but there was so much that went over my head.
Okay. I mean, well, that's kind of disappointing.
It's like playing Assassin's Creed like right now for the first time. Just start right? And then just going in. Like, you're not gonna know shit, but I'm sure you're gonna have a great time.
Eric, just so real quick, it's just a couple of issues. One, the guy playing Kiryu, the main character, is very clearly a kid when he's supposed to be 38 in this. Two, they retcon a lot of the backstory that I've recently learned playing games 1 through 4, and I'm now on 5, and the retcons aren't good. And 3, he's the Dragon of Dojima. He is the best fighter. He is a monster. He's a beast. In 3 episodes, there's been, I think, 2 fights. And they're not even choreographed well. Like, it's very obviously a fake fight.
On a scale of Iron Fist and Warrior, where would you say it lands? Like in the middle?
It's definitely closer to Iron Fist, but
not that bad.
Honestly, I would give it a 5.
Okay.
If you're doing something else, put it on in the background. Then you'll be fine with it.
Well,
okay.
I gotta do one. Alex, I need you to move on into the next segment, but first,
they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
That's that was we rarely do requests on here, but we had to do one for the 5th Bantha. You know, he's the homie.
He's a Bantha.
He's the Bantha. But guys,
it's a blow pop.
Let's go ahead and move into our first topic of the night. Let's move let's go through Fraggle Rock Over the Rainbow. Over Reading Rainbow. I fuck up this intro every single time, but it was clever in my head the first time, but I'm still gonna go through with it. We're going through Fraggle Rock Over the Reading Rainbow, across Sesame Street, and right before we get to the Witch's Road, we're gonna stop by Jeff's Comic Book Corner. Jeff, what are we talking about today?
We are going to be talking about, we're doing another new one of a horror series called Lock and Key. So first things first, if you haven't heard of this before, I am so excited for you right now. This is without a doubt one of my favorite book series of all time. And Netflix ended up making a show. Don't watch it. Read the books instead. They're comic books. You can get into them easy. Lock and Key is an amazing series that I got the entire first volume for free on Comixology, and it was so good, I bought the next 5 volumes. So I cannot suggest this one enough. All right. So jumping right into it, this starts with just a door. Now, this door is just a typical door. It's on just a random house, and it just says it's in Mendocino Valley, and it just says before. Now, before I get too far into this, I want to explain a few things. First and foremost, the author of this is named Joe Hill. He's Stephen King's son. He definitely got his dad's talent. And he actually went by Joe Hill because he wanted to get his name out there without just riding his dad's coattails. So, all right, jumping in. So like I said, we start with just this door. And next page, and that's just the entire first page. Next page, we got some kids knocking on a door. And one's holding a hatchet, the other's got a gun. They're clearly up to no good. And after a woman answers, they just start saying like, "Oh, hi, Mrs. Locke. My name's Sam. This is Al. Your husband was my guidance counselor. He said he mentioned that you guys had a house up here, and if I were ever out here to come visit." And she's like, "Oh, and you guys walked all the way?" And Al's like, "No, we stole a car." Ha ha ha. And Sam, like real quick, is like, "Oh yeah, it was my uncle's truck. We borrowed it. He's cool with us borrowing it." And then they show us an image of the truck, and I got a feeling the uncle wasn't that cool with it being borrowed. What with the dead bodies and everything. And then it cuts, from there we go to just this image of this kid. He's looking in some water, and he's just like, "Oh man, I could be," he looks like a surfer bro. He's like, God, this sucks. I could be in Bali with my friends surfing. Or I could even have stayed in San Francisco with my goth cousin, Oren. And at least he's got a PS3. And then it zooms out and we got this image where it's just this kid. His name's Tyler. He's the one in the red and white shirt, and he's just sitting there with his brother Bodie and his sister Kinsley. And he's just complaining like, God, why Dad have to make us come here? This is a shitty summer. Typical teenage bullshit, right? So Kinsey's talking to him, and she's like, hey, yeah, I don't care that you're in a mood. Dad said to come get you. It's time. We got to go back. We got to get back to painting and stuff. And he's like, oh, man, this still sucks, blah, blah, blah. And so they go start walking back up to the house. And then we see an image inside the house, and it's Al holding the axe, and it's that kid Sam next to the door with a gun, and Tyler's dad coming in, and clearly like just painting the house and everything, and yeah. And then and then next page, full page spread of it says San Francisco now, and it's Tyler standing in front of an urn. So immediately, this is a very dark story, and they do a really great job with the narration, because as you see, we're already doing some time jumps back and forth. This is another, like last week's book, this is another one that feels very much like it was written storyboard for a movie or a TV show, which is interesting because then the TV show fucked it up. Next, we get Tyler. He's in a hallway, and we just get people walking up. First is his buddy that was in Bali, and he's just talking to Tyler. He's like trying to take his mind off it. Like, oh man, this girl, she came to you missed it. She came to the bonfire. She was so hot. Then the cops arrested her. And then I was like, oh no, they're going to arrest me. And then like, he's pretty immediately, he's like, I'll tell you about it sometime if you want. I mean, man, I'm here. If you need it, just whatever you do, just like, don't try and go through this alone. And then the next page, we get the other option that Tyler had, his cousin Oren, who's all gothed the fuck out. And Oren's just kind of a douchey little piece of shit. He's like, oh, they killed like 5 people before they even got to you. You guys are famous now. You're so lucky. And then, Ty gives him that fuck you look, which I'd say is appropriate. And Oren gets the hint, and he leaves. And then the next person we get with Tyler is his uncle, Duncan. And Dunk's just sitting there, and he's like, hey, like, it's going to be okay. I'm here for you, blah, blah. And Tyler's like, I know what happens next. I know what's coming. And we get this really great, the bottom panel here is actually Tyler watching a flashback of himself. And it's him as a child, like sneaking towards his parents' room, and his parents are pissed drunk, and they're talking, like they're laughing about how his dad almost got run over by a car or some shit. And they're drunk and they're joking and everything. But then his dad gets like pretty serious, and he's like, like if anything happens, you'll all go and you'll go back to my home where I grew up. You'll go live in, and he says, you'll go live in Key House, which is the name, like his house he grew up in has a name. He's like, you'll go there and they'll be safe. You'll I'll be safe. And she's like, safe from what? And his dad's like, I don't know, whatever, like killer bees, the forces of evil, reality TV, just funny stuff like that. But they're joking back and forth, and Ty's listening in, and she's like, I just don't even get what you even mean by this. And his dad says, like, I mean, honestly, when I'm sober, I don't even get it. But like when I'm drunk, like I know. And then Ty, it cuts back to reality. We see Ty watching himself again. And then his uncle's just like, hey, would that be okay? Would you want to come with me? Like, they're in San Francisco. He's like, it's in Massachusetts, but like, I know it's far, but would you want to? And Tyler is breaking down, holding his uncle's like, God, please. Yes. Just get us out of here. And so now it cuts back to the past. And this is the full page, and I wanted to show this for a couple of reasons. One, there's a shit ton going on. Two, I really love the way they actually lay out the panels here. You get the part in the top, and you get the 3-part in the bottom, which a lot of comics have, but I like how we have it like going up around it on the sides. I just thought it was a fun thing. But anyway, so Tyler's still complaining. Kinsey's still like, can you get over it and stop being such a douchey teen while they walk back? Their little brother Bodie's playing with a butterfly. And like right when they get up to the door, they hear a blam, a big gunshot noise. And Tyler peeking through the window. And again, we just get some amazing artwork and choreography of the page here. We see Ty just staring in at this gun, and then it zooms out and we get Sam Lesser covered in blood. And Al's just like, what's going on? Why'd you shoot him? Oh, come on. Someone's going to hear that. Sam's like, no. He said the kids are at a neighbor's. We're fine. And then Al like leans out and like there's like a noise outside, and Al leans out the door. He's like, what's that? But also there's something going on in the room behind Al, and he's pulling his pants back up, and Al's been doing some pretty horrific shit. And you might also notice that we're not seeing the Locke mother. So anyway, we move on to the next page, where it turns out that noise outside was Ty freaked out, tripping over some paint cans, which is what set the boys inside off to know what's going on. So Al sends Sam out to go look after them, and Sam goes outside with the gun covered in blood, and he's searching for Tyler and Bodie and Kinsey. And he looks around and he notices the paint cans, and then he notices some footprints, and the kids are trying to get away, but I mean, like, Ty stepped in the paint. So now, unfortunately, like, he's literally leaving a trail showing this guy with a gun where he is. And Sam's like, Ty, you idiot. Oh, I'm going to come and I'm going to get you. But the nice thing that we see is while Tyler's leading him down into this basement, Kinsey's up on the roof holding Bodie for dear life, hiding from whatever's going on down below. And then we cut back to the present. And now we're actually in a car, and it's Duncan and Tyler, and they're just talking. And it's just a way to show that they've driven across the country. Don't worry, I didn't give you a picture of that. It's just real simple. It's just them pointing out, like, hey, we drove across the country. Hey, we're going to, hey, we're in Maine, and now we're at this. I'm sorry, Massachusetts. Now we're at this big estate. And one of the things that Tyler says is like, so do people know us up here? And like, are we like internet famous? And Duncan's like, I mean, we didn't put out an ad, but your dad grew up here, so people knew. And then as they're pulling into the house, which is this giant estate that we can see in the top panel, Duncan's like, great. Tyler's like, great. That's who I am now. You only get to be one thing in high school: the jock, the slut, the smart kid, and I have to be the victim. And, you know, Duncan's trying to still to help him, to comfort him and everything, all while we're getting a great view of this setting. And as they view out, we see the peninsula island. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's this area called Lovecraft, Massachusetts. And I mean, if you needed more of a hint that some freaky shit's going to go on, they live in a place called Lovecraft. So cutting back to it, Ty's talking about like the house and everything. He's like, what's it like to grow up in a house with a name? And Duncan's like, honestly, kind of fucking weird. And Tyler's mom gets out of the car, and she's like, they're like, so what do we do? And she's like, oh, just like, let's all just like wander around. Let's just go do whatever. And Ty walks off really depressed, just kind of remembering back to what happened. And it cuts to 2 pages of Sam Lesser walking through the basement, covered in blood, holding this pistol, looking for Tyler. And 3 pages of it. And he finds Tyler, and then Tyler tries to jump at him and go at him with a brick. And Sam starts shooting, but it's so dark down there. And luckily he misses Tyler. And Tyler throws the brick in Sam's face, and Sam drops the gun. And then Tyler picks the brick up and just starts beating Sam's face in with it, to the point where Sam is just a broken toy on the ground, and Ty obviously covered in blood. And he's just, it's insane. And he's a high school kid. So Then we see Ty's trying to get up and get out of the basement, and he like literally his dad's on the trap door, and then there's Al, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, we had to kill your dad," and Ty tries shooting at him, but Al's like, "Are you stupid? I was counting the bullets. Why do you think I stood here?" And then he goes, "Now, where's my hatchet?" And then, bam, Mrs. Locke comes out of the bedroom, bloody, crying, dress torn, hatchet straight to the back of Al's stupid fucking head.
You didn't see that coming?
Exactly. And we had that quick crossover with Marvel, but then they got back to the Hill House comics, and it's cool. And then just kind of a horrifying sight. She's just standing there. She's just telling Tyler, "Go get the kids, get Kinsey, get Bodhi, and run," while she's literally holding Al's dead body up with this fucking hatchet. And as Ty's leaving, we get this amazing 3-part panel. So as you see in this, there's that one where he's looking down at his dead father in the basement. Then the next one is him looking at this image of his dad at the funeral. And then the next one is him just looking at this little pool they have at Key House now. And after that, it cuts back to Key House, and Kinsey's walking up and she's trying to talk with her brother. She's like, "How are you holding it together? I've been breaking down nonstop. What are you even?" And she's like, "Oh God, I'm just trying to think about it. And like, I feel like I'm breaking." And then she starts crying again. She's like, "Ah, here I go again." She's like, "What are you even looking at down there?" And we see, and Tyler's like, "Nothing, water, nothing." And we get this image. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring up this image is I just think it's this, the last one we got, that 3-part panel of Tyler, and this panel right here, they do such a good job in this in this book of showing the emotional anguish that the kids are going through throughout the entire series, which is 6 volumes long. They do such a good job of using the imagery of a comic book to show the real pain and torment these kids are having. It's phenomenal. And this one where he's just seeing himself bloody like that. Oh God. So anyway, so Ty and Kinsey, they start walking away, and they're like, "Oh, we should probably find Bodhi. What do you think he's doing?" They're like, "I don't know. It's not like he could kill himself that fast." And Bodhi's literally climbing on books to get to swords when he sees something out of the corner of his eye. This first panel, it's really hard to see, but in the top part of it, we see just a glint on top of this door jamb, and it catches Bodhi's eye. So Bodhi goes running off, books falling, swords almost impaling him, and then he goes and he grabs a stool and a broom, and he just starts brushing the top of this door jamb until something falls down, and he picks it up, and it's this really crazy looking key with a death's head on it, a skeletal, like parts of it almost look like a rib cage. And he notices that there's this big black door with a skeleton on the door handle that matches it. So he starts just, trying to put the key in the fucking door, as a kid would do. Then we cut to this prison almost, and it's like, "Lights out, everyone go to bed." Da, da, da. And this guy's and we get this image of Sam. He's still alive, and it's almost like, I don't know if he's in solitary or what, but this seems like a small ass cell to me. And they're like, "What's wrong with you, Lester? What are you doing?" And Sam goes, "Don't you hear that echo? That perfect echo?" And they're like, "You're fucking weird, kid." And we see like, "I, 5. We see the echo in there. And then we notice Sam talking to his sink, but there's an actual face in the sink. It's not just an echo. Something's talking back to Sam. And he's like, no, you promised me. What was it he says? He says, "You promised me a new home and a new face." And the face in the water says to him, "And now you have both." And he's like, "No, this isn't better. This is the worst." And like, we can see like he's got stitches, like gruesome Frankenstein style stitches from where Tyler was beating him with this brick. He's missing teeth. And he's like, "No, you said better. I want better. You're supposed to give me better." And this face is saying, "And I will. I keep my promises. Soon, all doors will be open. The door to your cell, will be one of the first. And Sam's just like, when? And it zooms out and it just says San Lobel Juvenile Detention. Caution hitchhikers, maybe inmates. Whatever. We cut back to Lovecraft, Massachusetts, and we get this 3-part panel. It's that door, but it's the outside of the door. We see a click, and Bodhi just leans his head out. I was like, oh, what's going on out here? Okay. And he takes a step out, and when he steps outside the door, he falls down dead. And but he doesn't realize it because he's looking at himself, and he's literally a ghost. The second he walked out of the door, he dies, and he's a ghost. And he looks back, and he sees his body lying there, and he freaks the fuck out. So he just tries rushing back through the fucking door, and then his body starts coming back. Like, obviously it goes from like this cold gray body. Now it's alive again. And he looks up and he just stares at the door and he just fucking slams it shut. And that's the issue. That's the end of issue 1 of Lock and Key.
Sorry. We gotta switch back.
Dude, that looks crazy and not at all what I thought. Because I remember when the Lock and Key Netflix show came out, not what I thought that show was about at all. Didn't look nearly as cool.
So the one hint I'll give about the entire series, there's locks and keys. There's different keys all throughout this fucking weird, crazy ass house, and they all do something.
Okay, locks and keys. Did you like the show, or did you feel like it wasn't a good enough adaptation of the comic?
I'll tell you this: if I didn't know the comic, I probably would have really enjoyed the show. Okay. But I know the comic, and I know how much better it is.
That's fair. It's good that you had that objectivity. I feel that way about some stuff that I'm a little too close to. It's like I'm bumped up against this, but most people who aren't hardcore fans probably wouldn't have that problem. But I'm definitely excited. I got the willies. I got the creeps. I damn near have the jitters. So I'm excited to check out this comic book. And guys, go ahead and check this one out if you're in the mood for some spooky reads for the Halloween season. What did the Banthas say? The show wasn't bad, but they kind of took the edge off to make it more kid friendly. Yeah, it did seem like more of a YA type of show when I was watching like the
you got to do something like this, like always. You have to do it. If you're gonna tame it down, it needs to be because of the vape and the other weird shit that goes on. But you know what I'm saying? If you just got to go there, like the boys did. If you're gonna do one of those comics, like pick another comic book to make.
Well, and I get why it's harder for this one because the main characters are high school and younger age people,
right?
So I get that, but at the same time, you can still make it. And honestly. You can still make it brutal as shit because there's a lot of murder in these books. You can still do that with a kid's show. Fuck, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is a kid's show? No, there's too much fucking. I
didn't mean a kid's show. I meant with kid actors in a show.
Yeah,
that's what I should have said. Yeah.
No, I understood. I was confused. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
no.
Speaking of which, before we go into our next topic, one of my friends was talking about Terrifier 3. She saw it in theaters.
Because she's a wild person. Mariana, you are a wild girl.
I actually wasn't talking about Mariana. It was somebody else. Oh, it's weird that I have two female friends.
Sorry, Mariana.
It's weird that you have two female friends.
But also, Mariana, right, you are a wild person. But shout out to Morbid Zoo.
Shout out to Morbid Zoo. But yeah, they were saying that like when they saw the spoilers for the first 30 seconds of Terrifier, but there's like a child murder at the very beginning of Terrifier 3, and like a bunch of people walked out, and I was just like, what are you doing here? Right? This is Terrifier 3, homie. Like, this is not the first time we're doing this.
Right?
Yo, I don't know, man. That's just too wild. That movie is just
Okay, but it's the third installment of a movie series that routinely tries to make it the most horrific movie series.
Right.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, this is the room of horror movies.
Yeah.
My opinion.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I know they know what they're doing. It's like watching an episode of In Living Color where the bit goes on too long.
Now, in my screening, everybody knew the assignment. Everybody was like, yeah! Like everybody was loving it. But
that's how it was when we saw Black Widow. That was exactly how it was.
Or Madam Web.
Madam Web, excuse me, Black Widow. I don't mean to put dirt on your name.
Yeah, sorry. That movie wasn't great, but it was not Madam Web bad.
Right.
But
I'm just referring to Madam Web, excuse me. Madam Web is the room.
I think it is.
It's Marvel. It's the Marvel room.
At least in Los Angeles. That's the only thing I can speak from experience wise. But people in Los Angeles look at that movie like gold, like terrible golden piece of shit. And it sits on the mantle.
There's a phrase I stole from Cosmonaut Variety Hour, which it just perfectly encapsulates how I feel about those kinds of movies. It's delicious garbage. It's just, it's perfect.
If I was homeless, I'd eat it.
Literally, it's trash can nachos.
Yeah, I think I like nachos. Trash can nachos better, Alex.
Actually, yeah, and it's more original. I don't have to steal from somebody else.
Enjoy.
So yeah, let's go with trash can nachos.
You just stole it from Jeff. What are you talking about?
Oh man!
Just part of the group. Just part of the group. It doesn't count.
So back to this. If any of you guys are looking for some good fucked up horror comics to read, basically anything by Tynion. By James Tynion the Fourth, couldn't remember if he was third or fourth, or by Joe Hill are gonna be good. I'd obviously suggest last week's Nice House on the Lake and this week's Lock and Key. Also, and Alex can absolutely attest to There's Something Killing the Children.
Yes.
The Woods, Basket Full of Heads, Eat the Rich. There's a lot of really good horror comic out there for you to read.
Litty to Titty.
Thank you so much for educating the people, Jeff. There's nothing more important than there's nothing more important than educated electorate, and you're educating the people with the comics.
That's right.
So I appreciate you.
You know, it's rough times out there in the world right now. A lot of shit going on, and the only way you can get through it is by sitting here every Monday. Subscribe to Nerds@Night and the Drunk Banthas channel and get you some comic book corner in you.
Yeah, get it all up in you.
Jeff's comic book corner in you.
Since we're getting out of the spooky season, we'll have another new one next week, which I'll do 2 issues of the next one. I just wanted to give you a bit of variety for the horror ones.
Yeah,
no, I appreciate you sticking, being on brand for the spooky season. I appreciate it, and also giving those suggestions. If Drunk Alex remembers to do it later, he's gonna put in the video description all those comics he just mentioned.
Alex, Drunk Alex, right here. Time code, timestamp.
The only way you're gonna remember it is like tomorrow you're gonna wake up hungover and you're just gonna be like, somebody's killing children. I love that fucking book. Why am I thinking about that?
No one will.
I don't know. Let's go to work.
You have everything. You have all of that correct except for the hangover.
He's a pro.
I read 5 pages of Something is Killing the Children every morning. I literally have.
That sound like a goddamn. You sound like an evangelical.
Like the opening of a manifesto.
Yeah, right.
Seriously, you sound like an evangelical who's gone rogue. I open up my Bible and I read at least 5 pages of my Bible every morning.
I wish I was joking. I have volume 4 in my book bag that I take to work right now.
Which, like I said, Alex can attest to how fucking good that book is.
Yeah, so I didn't know he was going to attest that much. I didn't know he was going to attest so hard.
Alex, you got to read Tynion's other book, The Woods. It's the Lord of the Flies in outer space, but it's rated R.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got me. You had me at outer space.
God damn it! I gotta get a drop of Blake doing the ooh.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. I'm gonna get.
Ew.
If you're watching,
ew.
if you're watching Blake, that's gonna be your Christmas present. No, I'm gonna do a whole I'm gonna do a fucking master cut of oohs.
I'm down.
It's literally Bill just streams one of Blake's streams. That's it.
Yeah, that's
he said it 62 times. But we're getting into our first TV topic of the night, so let's go ahead and take this shot. Oh, you already took your shot.
Huh?
I'm gonna take my shot.
Wait a minute. I thought you had took your shot.
No, I honestly forgot about it. I was like, oh shit.
See, this is why I don't like drinking in Yeho. I mean, wait a minute. This is not liquor. This is water. I mean, Gatorade. This is the old Gatorade, though. We just put it in this bottle because we're conservationists and we don't believe in plastic. Oh,
yeah, we don't believe in plastic. That's not how we do things.
See, you see that?
Each of these pound of plastic pulled from the ocean.
There you go. See, we are about conservation, and we take chasers because I don't like the taste of water.
Yeah,
I mean Gatorade, old Gatorade.
Yeah,
this is the
first.
Make
sure you wash the plastic out of your mouth, so you got to take a chase.
You got to.
Yeah. Dude, they found microplastics in utero. God, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
it's literally everywhere at this point because it's just generations and generations.
We also all have tiny bits of what do you call it? The stuff that they use to make nonstick and the stuff that they use to make like
Teflon.
It's I can't remember. It's a certain chemical.
Yeah, but that's what's going to make us superheroes. So that one's fine.
So all that stuff that's been in your system since the 50s, they can't find medical records in the army past the like 40s, late 40s, early 50s where these people who have enlisted don't have this trait in them, which they've shown causes cancer. Like it's proven, and then they still make it till this day. Check out The Devil You Know on whatever the fuck it's on.
Oh my god! By the way, Bill, I got a new docu series for you for Thursdays. Just check out It's Florida Man on Max.
Oh yeah, I saw the commercial for that.
I didn't see it. It's out now?
There's 2 episodes. They release Fridays or Saturdays. It's the best series ever. It's people telling real stories of the fucked up shit they did just because they lived in Florida, and then awesome actors acted out.
Yep.
Yeah, it seemed very
can't wait.
Drunk History-esque.
It's so amazing.
Can't wait.
But you know what? I can't wait for this conversation about the new episodes of
Grotesquerie.
Yeah, that's right. It's episode 8 and 9. It's kind of the penultimate-esque episode of this show. Let's do some initial thoughts first. I'll just go first personally. I liked like 10% of these 2 episodes. Like if we were going to combine these 2 episodes together, I liked about 10% of it. Because like I don't know, like there's one storyline, there's like one B plot in all of this. It's like sort of interesting to me, but we spend so much on just everybody dressing down Lois. It gets really, really annoying. It feels like the show is trying to tell us what the symbolism is for the first 7 episodes, and also trying to like have this sort of weird denouement where it just feels like this is going to be the end of the show. But then it just like has this twist toward the end. So like, I don't know. I was really frustrated with, especially episode 8. I guess this does benefit from having 2 episodes come out at the same time. But man, I was really frustrated by these 2 episodes. A lot of good acting.
Learn to write 1 episode. Okay. Don't put out 2 subpar episodes. Write 1 good episode and do it at the beginning so you know how to release them all, so you can do 1 episode at a time and still release for fucking Halloween.
Yeah, Eric, I'm gonna say I agree.
He said that about It's Florida Man, by the way.
Oh,
okay, yeah,
well, well, also I agree. Hey, damn, we're getting good at the 90 seconds. If you said
felt important to point out.
If he said that about Florida Man, that was only 2 minutes ago. You're getting good to 9 seconds.
It's Florida Man.
Well, let me just
no. The name of it is it's Florida Man.
It's Florida, comma man,
not just Florida Man.
Yeah, I know. That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna do that. It's Florida Man. They got it fucked up. But I did just. That was why I don't know what you just said. Is because I was writing all that down. But what I was gonna say is I didn't have no problem with these episodes. We gotta learn something about this lady. We haven't learned anything beyond that she's a fucking alcoholic and a terrible person. So we need to have some kind of development. And in 2 episodes, they done gave her a whole damn arc. I mean, now we just need a finale. I mean, because she went from. See, this is the thing. Even though she was dreaming, that's how she acted out her life day to day. So what we've got now is we've got a mystery, but it's not the kind of mystery that we had thought it was going to be, right? We thought it was going to be a whodunit, but we have a different type of mystery. We have like a spooky mystery because her thoughts have come out to attack the same vicious, malicious acts that she saw in her dreams. Now, I do agree that like the pacing of 8 was slow, but the thing is, like you said, this show was never intended to be released like a regular show. Clearly,
the way you're supposed to consume this show is weird,
right? I'm thinking that you can't consume this show. Like if we'd have watched this week to week, I think we would be tired of this show. By episode 4, I think we would have been like, man, this show sucks. You know what I'm saying? But we was in there till about episode 5, and we was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like,
let's just say I still agree with that assessment.
Jeff, what were your initial thoughts on this episode?
All right. God, just okay.
No, I got my 90
so
seconds.
We're taking all this shit and then we're trying to be like, oh, it's now she's prophetic. We literally were able to like read her dreams and shit. Then it's just like a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't make sense that the characters would do it. Like Lois, why do you keep going to your daughter and then being like mad at her for being mad at you for fucking her husband? And then like literally Lois is like, well, how could I have slept with your husband? Well, I was lonely. And, I mean, it wasn't about the sex. It was about the feelings and the romance, which, by the way, is like the opposite of everyone who ever gets caught. Usually it's like, it's only about the sex. She's like, no, it wasn't about that. And then she just like every one of her fucking excuses is that it's an excuse. She didn't take accountability for fucking anything. The redhead nurse mistress OnlyFanser. I don't know what to call her now. She's like, she wants Lois's husband. Then she gets Lois's husband. Then Lois talks about how she's going to Florida. Now she wants Florida. And it's like, you just want everything fucking low. It's just, who are we supposed to like in this show? What character are we supposed to root for? Because I got no one.
Yeah, see, I think to me, I felt like that was like, I don't know why this thing's acting weird. I feel like that was the whole. I don't know. I feel like this show has done a good job of explaining just about everything. It's just that they have so many. What are they? Red herrings. That there's no way for you to really if you're trying to figure out what's happening, you ain't gonna be able to enjoy this show. Right. That's why I stopped trying to, because like I'm telling you, after I realized that she was in a dream state, we talked about it like early, it was episode 3 or something like that. I'm like, right, this is so fucking like the way she was talking, the way she was acting and not doing nothing, and she was behaving like it was like she was distant from what she was interacting
Felt
with.
very ethereal.
So I was like, I don't know what the fuck going on. And I've been saying it in the group chat with Alex and Blake. And I'm just like, man, I have no idea what's going on.
It's funny. I always have to I always have to ignore the group chat with Blake because like I'm always like 4 days behind actually watching the episode. It's like, I can't read any of this yet.
Yeah, Blake be like, man, that shit was crazy.
That shit that happened at the end, the very end.
Like, he's like, especially what we saw at the end, that tells me a lot about how it's gonna be tomorrow, like next week. You know?
Man, that part where she took the knife and she carved out the eye, but she kept the eyeball to get the code for unlocking the safe. That was crazy. Oh, by the way, spoilers.
I feel like though, like the like Lois is coming out of it and doing the things, like all the things that we were when she was in the dream state, we were like, man, why didn't she fight this lady? Man, why don't she say something crazy? Man, why she keep dealing with this? Man, why she ain't just shoot this motherfucker? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the things that we want her to do. Now she just came out like the whole time. I know everybody was thinking, or all of us were thinking at the end, man, she's not gonna do it because she's fucking. And we were all rooting for her to just shoot this dude, like blow his cap back.
Like, I thought she was gonna kneecap him, and I was like, "Oh, that's not a knee."
Yeah, send him to Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah, like one of the
things had a real coming to Jesus moment.
She couldn't shoot him while he was on top of her because you might hit old girl. You got to get real close.
Yeah, it's like let's
create
some separation.
Look, man, she's been doing like exercises just to keep a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like early to fire a weapon because that shit got the
it's got the kickback. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And when you got the kickback, you got to make sure she was real close.
And that's the thing. Like she was standing just fine after she shot that gun. That's where this movie or the show becomes unbelievable.
Right there.
Where the show becomes unbelievable to me is when the police decide to not like use excessive force. It's like you would have shot him so much longer ago if you were a real police.
But you know what though? I think
like
that they were
Nun Cop is just a fucking idiot.
Well, see, I was about to say, I think that they're trying to show us without much time, because we just now got introduced to her and we had 3 episodes left. I think they're trying to get it out of the way really quickly that she is easily manipulated and gets she's into the type of person who would abuse her, unless we find out that's her brother. He looked like he was about to vape her, so I don't know. I'm assuming that's her.
That might still be the brother.
Yeah, if they're from Tennessee. Shout out to Tennessee.
So that's one of the issues with the show, though. They spent too much time on the coma shit. She should have been out of the coma. We should have at least one more full 45 to 50 minute episode in the real world. And they could have easily, we had 2 30-minute coma episodes. They could have easily condensed some of the coma stuff because we have, does it even say how long the next episode is going to be? It doesn't say how long it's going to be, but even if it's an hour long, they're going to leave a lot of fucking loose ends now. And one of the issues is and the thing is they don't need to, because while she was in the coma, we got so much of the non-Lois characters' lives. So they kind of set us up for this. And I'm sorry, that is their fault. They could I don't know if it's the writing, the editing, the directing, but with the way the timing was cut up, we don't have enough time to finish this show.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to play just a quick clip of what takes up most of the... No, it's not a back clip. I'm not in the thing one yet. I'm going to play a quick clip of what... I'm going to play a clip of what takes up most of the time in episode 8 and 9. I'm just going to play this.
I feel stuck in a maze. An awful, endless nightmare.
Are you ready to go back to the real world?
So yeah, we do get this weird therapy session with this Dr. Whitcomb.
I'm gonna call him Dr. Child Diddler.
Dude was. Can we just say the elephant in the room first? That dude was not a good actor, right?
Oh no.
Right? I like this actor a lot. I've seen him in other stuff.
This role?
Oh, not in this role.
Okay.
I'm getting there. I like this actor a lot, and he's really good at comedic roles for sure. And I just feel like he was just giving too much in this episode. Like, I feel like this is a director problem. Like, the director should have been like, okay, that's good, but give me like 30% less. Like, he was given so many faces on every single line read.
He was just too happy about every goddamn thing. Like, yo, dog, you are making all this weird. And like, maybe Lois would be back to normal sooner if you wasn't being so goddamn creepy.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
He was giving real golden retriever vibes when it's like, this character is supposed to be a cat. What are you doing here, man?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man. Perfectly said.
Thomas. So the other Thomas Ellenson is the actor who played the other doctor. Mm-hmm. He's got severe cerebral palsy. He has to talk with an iPad, and he outacted this guy by a mile.
Wait a minute. That dude wasn't acting like he has cerebral palsy.
No. He legit has it. He's an actor who actually has it and talks talking with the iPad and all that. That's just normal him.
Honestly, when I
wonder
saw
if he's a real doctor.
He is not. He is a real actor, but his acting reel on IMDb is fucking amazing.
What's the dude from? What's the doctor from? God damn! What the fuck is that?
Greg House.
Knocked up. Oh, Kim Jong.
Oh
yeah,
real
doctor. Yeah.
I'm just saying, shout out to the real.
I don't know if he could still practice though.
No, he can't practice because he's crazy. I'm not letting that motherfucker operate on me.
After the Hangover came out, they just like his license.
I saw your teeny tiny dick jumping out of a car.
Yeah, dog. Nope. I can't have nobody who's.
I don't care if it's just a stethoscope. Get it the fuck away from me.
I can't have seen your dick and you operate on my body. That's not how we're going down.
When I saw that actor, I immediately knew that he was actually a person with cerebral palsy. Just because, say what you want about Ryan Murphy.
I'm sorry, that was just a joke.
No. I mean, like
when I said did he really have cerebral palsy? That was a joke.
Oh, I mean, well, it's also
I'll be honest. I was like 97% sure, but I still immediately looked it up because I was just curious and wanted.
Right. Well, the only reason I was sure is because, like, say what you want about Ryan Murphy, he's all about like authenticity in his shows and like representation. So like,
not have no Asian girls being played by white women.
Right?
He will not do that.
Like he's regularly going through American Horror Story. You can just tell like he cares about like having like not just casting
disabled people.
Yeah, he likes he's all about representation.
Shunned people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
white people. Yeah.
White people, yeah, he always has
I never noticed that before.
But yeah,
we make cameos.
This might be the blackest show he's done. This is the blackest show.
Actually, probably, yeah.
No, this is.
Yeah, like we mentioned, episode 8 opens up with Merritt, a doctor, teaching a class, and another doctor approaches Merritt wanting to talk about Lois and the dreams she had while she was in her coma. The doctor is trying to figure out what Lois's dreams during her coma mean and how they connect with her actual life. And then when they cut to Lois, who is in a physical therapy at her hospital. Oh, well, no, yeah. Sorry, no. Yeah. I meant to delete that. Charlie is her doctor, but Lois, unsurprisingly, doesn't trust him.
For some reason.
She also says she's going to get him. She's like, don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'm going to get you to confess to me, too. Bitch, hold on, man. I ain't do nothing, though. I was in here. But I think he's still the killer.
Yeah, I feel like he still has a role to play before this show is over.
They tried to put a Kansas City shuffle on us, and we not going for it. FX.
I don't know. I get the feeling I get the feeling it's Dr. Golden Lab, just because if it will be a way for him to like further cement his theory. Not only were we able to read her dreams, but her dreams were prophetic. And look, now we have proof because I boiled a baby again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, actually, it would say like, cause let's move past actually this.
Or you don't like my theories bit?
No. I
like what happens.
We're moving.
Me and Jeff, we out here throwing each other softballs. We ping ponging back and forth.
I'm trying not to mess up the flow, and I'm moving past all this bullshittery that happens in episode 8. Because Lois goes through her.
By the way, lowest rated episode of the series. 6.3.
Yeah, but see, I was just combining them. I wasn't even worried about
you have to,
because episode 9, it basically is nothing except for a continuous. So I'm gonna sum up episode 9, the entire thing. Easy,
go for it.
It's just what alcoholics do when they go through AA. You first step is forgiveness. So you have to, or I guess the second step. I don't know. I've never been AA.
First step's admitting you have a problem. Right. Step 4, I think, is amends.
Well, see, she kind of skipped a few steps because she was in a coma, right?
So which, by the way, was caused by COVID and 6 weeks long.
Right.
Okay.
But Black people had a lot of issues with COVID, and because a lot of predisposed whatever, genetically predisposed disease and conditions are dealt with. But anyway,
well, if they listened to Shadow Doctor, they would have been fine.
It is, but that also was touched on in her coma. Remember, she was talking shit about. She had a whole rant about COVID.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's going through her steps of being an alcoholic and talking individually to everyone she's done wrong. I mean,
yeah, actually, yeah.
And I think that's what they were doing without saying it. But I believe that they did a lot of editing in these episodes that made it, because they're trying to squeeze it into the time frame that we've been talking about. And so I think that we missed some part of that explanation about AA and all that, because that was a part of the coma as well. What we're doing is translating everything slowly into the coma, but what we don't realize is, you know what I'm saying? Oh, all of a sudden, boom, these murders are taking place now outside. So everything that happened in her coma is transferring over in with the parallels.
And
not just the negative.
And they actually did have a mention in one of the scenes of the therapy sessions where they mentioned that basically she's in recovery, that she's a recovering alcoholic,
right? Because she's been sober for 6 weeks.
Oh, puppy!
Therapist sucks, because he was like, "Oh yeah, I mean, like you were an alcoholic." It's like, no.
You
always will.
Yeah,
and
it's a disease. I'm just gonna leave it on Jeff, by the
way. Yeah, I mean, he's got the cute guess. Yeah.
Aw. I don't know if you can tell. She's got a lazy eye.
You're supposed to talk. You're not supposed to be the one.
He's talking.
No, he wasn't talking. He stopped. You were about to say something. Go. Don't let the dog distract you.
Okay.
He's
anyway,
too cute. See, he fucked Alex up.
He was literally talking.
Producer C.
But what I was just gonna say was that I got all this. Honestly, one of the things I felt about this especially in this episode, is that this show could have been like a 2.5 hour movie, because I feel like the pace,
a good one.
Because I always think about like especially during a lot of these scenes, I think about like when my playwriting professor said years ago, it's like, sometimes you can say, oh, what did Eric say? I want to know the dog's stance on Palestine right now.
I'll give you that.
She believes in. Hang on.
See,
it almost seems like that was planned.
Let me tell you something. That those types of questions or those types of answers are given on the Bantha Bunch at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific time. But that's why you have to subscribe, so you make sure you know what's coming up. But yeah. Sometimes I go at 7, sometimes I come at 8. But if you come at 8 and I went at 7, then you still gonna get it, baby.
Yeah, you're still gonna get some shit. But yeah, like I always think about just like when my playwriting professor, like I would hand my playwriting professor a script, you know, when I was first starting writing, I was very impressed with my own vocabulary and I send him my shit and he'd be like, yeah, but you can say, like, you use 6 sentences to say something you can say in 1 sentence. I was like, but those 6 sentences are good. He's like, they're good, but you can it's like they're good, like those are good if you're writing a poem, but these are people talking. Like there has to be a bounce and an ebb and flow and something that feels natural. And there are a lot of times in this show, especially in these last 2 episodes with Lois, where she is going, like she's saying some really poignant stuff and very flowery language, but it's just like not how fucking people talk to each other. And I bumped up against that a lot through this, and she's doing a great job. She's doing some great acting, especially with her and Merritt. Like there's some scenes with her and Merritt, which I can't fucking stand those scenes, but there's some really good acting going on in those scenes. But like I didn't really care for the dialogue. The dialogue was really bothering me.
I think it's because this wasn't supposed to be a black family.
Oh, really?
I've been feeling that way the entire series, and it's the first time that I've been able to really confirm it. The conversation that they had in the house where she slapped the shit out of her.
Yeah.
That was like, so maybe that happens, right? Let's just say that actually happens, right?
Okay.
Then you move into the second scene.
The second scene drove me nuts. That was the part that drove me nuts.
The second one, that ain't how niggas talk. Alex, see, this is what Alex didn't want to say. This is what he doesn't want to say. He trying to keep it all cool. Because, you know, I got problems with the show like I will have problems with any show.
No show holds up to
this show was not written in the mind of niggas doing nigga shit. Let me just tell you right now. This lady, CC, you done did it now. Let me tell you something. That's why everybody's going to get an Emmy this year.
Nash,
she going to get an Emmy this year.
No, she won't. Not for this.
She'll probably get a nom.
She'll get a nomination at the very least, but
maybe.
I'm gonna tell you, Murphy.
She is acting her ass off, regardless of how we feel about the show in general. It's gonna get a nomination, and she's gonna get a nomination because of it, right?
Yes, but people don't get wins for horror, especially horror this graphic.
Well, you know what? That's true, but sometimes in Hollywood, they get this virtuistic type mindset every once in a while, and they're like, "Man, we got to give it to the dark skin, big booty, big titty black lady. We got to give it to her because she came out the mud and da 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 da." You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
We should give this award to someone who looks different than the people who usually get it. You mean taller? No. No. Oh, like a ginger? They don't have souls.
You get one of these today. You earned this one.
I'll say this. I also think that that Raven Goodwin, the woman playing Merritt, I think she deserves a call out for this as well. Because yes, a good amount of it is the costume design, but a good amount of it is also her acting. We really do feel like she does such a good job of being 2 completely different characters from Coma Merritt to real world Merritt. And she was really impressing me these episodes.
Exactly. And that's what me and Alex was just saying too. Yeah, we agree completely but it's just
a little busy making sure a fucking dog didn't eat another Roku remote.
No, you're good. I'm glad you said it because that means we right. You know what I'm saying? No, but like, yeah, they did a good job to me as like the performances are crazy amazing.
Yeah.
And we already talked about old girl Megan. Is she really Megan in real life? I can't remember her real name.
Her name is Megan in real life.
Okay, so we already talked about Megan and her boyfriend getting her head. The nun,
Sister Megan. Yeah.
Oh, Michaela in real life.
It's Michaela.
Oh, is it Michaela in real life? I thought it was Megan in real life.
I'm sorry. Are we talking about the actor's name or the character's name?
There's two real lives.
All right.
Yeah.
Character is always Megan.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Played by Michaela. That
Shout
was
out to
my
Michaela.
bad.
Friend of the show.
Yeah,
You know, Michaela,
she does a good job too. Nurse Mistress OnlyFan Redhead. She does good. Everyone does a great job. It's just like the Nurse Mistress, just like kind of boring, but she does such a good job of both roles.
Yeah,
It
she's
just
a
wasn't
bored character, but yeah,
written to be the lead. You know.
Sorry, I just realized that the Boston League poster is just says the nigga part.
Do you not realize that's like every
sometimes it just says Igor, and sometimes it says Gigger. So right now, the way we're positioned, it says
it's the whole.
I'll tell you, more often than not, it says. So back to Grotesquerie.
Finish your thought. No, but I will say real quick to the adverse of what we were saying about Merritt. Megan,
don't be to the adverse.
I feel like she does a way better job in this more grounded character
in the real life.
Because Sister Megan, I couldn't stand for like 60% of her performance. Like she kind of annoyed me with her eccentricities,
but she got the face. She know how to use them big eyes in that damn face, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Let me ask you: was one of the things that annoyed you about her though was one of the things that annoyed you that it's like you just don't feel like a nun? Because that was a part of it for me. That was a part of it for me as well.
You don't use nothing halfway over here at the Drunk Banthas podcast.
Also, I'll say this, man, curled hair takes up a lot of length, it turns out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
she looks like she's like half a cousinette with her hair straightened. God damn.
No,
I mean, well,
straight.
that's
you can tell
a wig.
that's
a wig.
You think that's a wig? I don't think that's a wig. I think no, it's not a wig. I seen her.
That's a white girl.
On IG, no, that's her hair.
Okay.
No, and also though, he write about Cousin It stuff. Like, I mean, really, really long, crazy long.
Yeah.
And also though, she got that 90s emo shit going. That early 2000s emo going.
You remember?
She's wondering why Lois has to go and make things so complicated.
She is.
Yeah.
Beanbag.
Dead ass.
Speaking of early 2000s artists, I was thinking about when Lil Bow Wow had cornrows and then he had straight hair, and then it was down to like his hip.
You're like, what the fuck?
Whose little girl is this? Somebody come get this little girl. Come at.
But let's go ahead and talk about the ending of this episode because
we already did. We already talked.
We talked about the ending at the beginning. We did it.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Inception style.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
We did a very Grotesquerie style. Let's be honest.
Oh, I like that.
Used to be Quentin Tarantino. Now it's Grotesquerie.
But guys, let us know what you thought about episode 8 and 9 of Grotesquerie. Oh, sorry. Do you have another thought, Squid?
One more thing. Why didn't anybody turn off the burner for the baby stew pot? Wouldn't that destroy evidence?
It's evidence. Don't disturb the crime scene.
But if you leave the burner on,
the
stew's going to reduce and you're going to have less evidence.
I
know it's weird to come at this from a cooking angle, but
not if you keep adding
our
water.
Resident culinary expert.
You'll be just fine. They just keep adding water to it.
I made some fantastic pork ribs last night, and those were falling off the bone. But I don't know if you want baby stew falling off the bone.
No,
I feel like it's one of those situations where, like, you know, I actually.
You know what? We're not gonna keep going.
Yeah,
he just did his bit. He got his bit. He got his shit off in less than 90 seconds. Boom.
I can keep going, but it's not going to be better.
Bad baby joke. Like, let's go.
Let's move into our next topic of the night. We're talking about Disney Plus's Marvel series.
Agatha All Along.
That's right. We're talking episode 8.
One time. That's what I think about. I don't know why.
I fucking love wontons.
I think I'm hungry.
And who doesn't like Agatha All Along? I've been thoroughly enjoying this this season so far. And
this season so far, the first season.
Well, It's still a season. Don't say normal things like they're weird.
They're not going to get another season. I don't think they're getting another season. I've been watching. What's her name? Catherine. What's her name?
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, I've been watching her interviews. She ain't acting like she gonna be in this anymore. She wild on the interviews, just act like she didn't even know nothing about Marvel characters. She was like, "What?" I don't know.
She's one of the funnest.
And the little boy was
interviews.
like, "They're talking about." And she's like, "Oh, no, it was Stan Lee." They asked her, "What would if you could have had a Stan Lee cameo in this show? What would it
like
been?"
Stanley Tucci?
She said Stanley. She's like, "I don't know Stanley. Who's Stanley?"
Stanley.
Who's Stanley? He goes
like Stanley Steamers.
He goes. The dude who plays Billy. He was like, "It's Stan Lee. Stan Lee, the guy who created all the characters." She was like, "Oh yeah, I wish he'd have been. I wish he'd have been on a
Stanley." Okay.
She was like, "I wish he'd have been on a picture and he just followed us around with his eyes." And I was like, "Oh, that
actually would have been a good one."
That's how you know she's a pro.
Exactly, because you could tell she was sitting there like,
I don't even know who the fuck we're talking about.
Fuck is Stan Lee? She was just like that, nonchalant as fuck. Who the fuck is Stan Lee?
Catherine Hahn is one of the best interviews you'll ever have in your life.
Oh my god. She, even if she's not talking about anything she's creating, she as a person is just so fun.
And was she on SNL?
No, she was not.
I mean, she probably hosted, right?
No, fuck all that.
But no, she was never a cast member.
No.
She's done movies.
She ain't never hosted.
Nine Yard said in the chat, one of the best episodes of the MCU shows. Full stop. That's a pretty big proclamation because
let's get into
it. Those shows have gone through some.
The fans agree.
Oh, yeah, really? Go ahead, Jeff.
9.2.
Get us right. What was the last one?
The last one was an 8.2. This is a 9.2. It is one of the highest rated individual episodes of an MCU show.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's I'm gonna say
that's huge.
And the show's still only rated at a 7.1.
I'm gonna say that Agatha All Along, before Variety magazine says it, and they're not gonna say it early because they pussy. But I'm gonna say it right now. I believe that Agatha All Along has brought Marvel back.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's.
I think it's fair to say.
I think it's fair to say. I mean, I feel like I'm jumping out on a small limb, but not. You know what I'm saying? Not a teeny tiny. A little small, thick, not one of them thick, girthy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it could support some weight.
I'm in the middle somewhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, but I really do believe that. I really do believe that Agatha All Along, Kirstyn Hahn,
Catherine
Dunst, all of them, they have saved this series. And to Gers and Purr's question, do you think all the women are going to die on Agatha All Along? And what I was saying earlier, I think yes, all of the women are going to die in Agatha All Along because Catherine Hahn. I think was she half Asian? No,
I was gonna say no relation.
Yeah, no, but I think that she's been acting like in the at least in the series, she's been acting like, in the interviews, she's been acting like she's not coming back. Like she's just nonchalant about everything. Like whatever, my character's dead. I get to go do whatever I want until they call me back and tell me that I need to do whatever.
It's like her last name is like that one random DJ track on Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, Mrs. Hahn. So that's the easy way.
Shout out to Mrs. Hahn. Ms. Hahn. I apologize. But yeah, man, I think that's a clear sign. And then also, what's her the lady who can see in time and shit? She is too old for them to keep.
She's dead.
They're not gonna keep her. She's gone. the black lady. We know they're not keeping black women in Marvel. And
I'm glad she's lasted this long.
Shout out to
black
actors. But yeah, so then what are we left with? Billy. And I think what we have to end this series with is Billy having complete loss while then going on to try to find Tommy. Right. So Agatha will be this loss for him while also losing the other which is part of his covenant, and his covenant will have died, and then he'll go on to do his Avenger shit or Vision.
Right.
Vision, I think
the Young Avengers.
Yeah. Excuse me, but the Teen Titans,
the Vision Quest.
I think Vision. No, I think Vision is going to be our cameo that we get. White Vision. Yeah, he's going to be our cameo.
Vision,
which of course is different than the Black Vision, which we all know is Vashon.
That's one of your good. That's one of your better ones.
That was pretty good. I will allow that interruption.
You got good ones. That's top tier.
No, but I think that because Vision is the one who brings the Young Avengers.
Well, yeah, it was his semen. Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying.
He was the one who brings them together. I guess is his programming. Once the Avengers break apart, he's supposed to go get new recruits, and he starts the Young Avengers, which is also against all the labor laws. But anyway,
I mean, they don't get paid, so it's cool.
But anyway, now if I'm wrong, I think they're bringing everybody back to life.
Yeah, it does feel
it's either
like
one or the other. They're not going. They're not going out without all these bitches. If just they're not, one person's not just going to be the one to survive.
Yeah, I do feel like this is one of those shows where everybody can has the potential to come back at the end. And Gerson Purse said in the chat, so all women are going to die in the service of a male character. And I
think that depends on the election.
That's called America. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I do think that it would be emotionally resonant for Billy to experience all this loss, like you mentioned, and for it to just sort of prop him up to move on forward in like the MCU continuity. But
without no
also,
women, no,
with no women. But no, I do feel like either we're gonna have all the women come back at the end, or Agatha is still going to survive and be an ancillary villain in the MCU going forward. At least that's what I hope.
In the comics, she is not really like a villain.
She's not a villain at all.
Yeah, she kind of has one issue where she's like this anti-hero, and then
she's the Fantastic Four's nanny.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's like chill.
Yeah, but
so I think that I'm just saying they're not going that far.
I mean, they've already changed enough about her. I would love it if she was like a villain in a Doctor Strange movie or something like that. Because she's already different enough.
She'll be like a Deadpool character. That's what she's mostly is. Like she's like a Deadpool character. She's not on the level with like how everybody else handles shit, but she's still like that bitch, and she's she'll take care of hers. She takes care of her own, right? In the comic books,
right?
Now I believe that's this is an origin story, right? Like it can't just be she's evil. This is a real origin story, and as we know, all villains see themselves as the good guy.
Yeah. And they've done a really good job of humanizing her and like showing her point of view, even though we still understand as an audience that she's not a good person.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about the beginning of this.
I think they're trying to change that though. So I think what's going to happen is I agree with you guys. I think everyone's going to die, but then I think everyone's going to come back. And I think so. A big part of this that we need to remember is, while yes, all the witches are walking the road, it is Agatha's journey and Agatha's real walk. So I think a part of it is that first off, her trial, I don't think was her real trial. Because her big thing is she betrayed her last covenant. So I think what's going to happen here is in the end, it's going to come down to probably Billy is about to die, and she's going to sacrifice herself for him, which will be her real trial, which will then allow her the witches world to be like, oh, you learned, here's power. And then everyone's going to come back.
Yeah,
she'll use that power to bring them back. Because the other part is, and a big part of this episode was the tarot cards. So, and yes, death was the last card. In tarot, death doesn't just mean like, death also in tarot can just mean change.
Yeah, and I'm very curious, since like we have 2 shows about villains and 2 shows of their supporting characters of the show that had their own little flashback episode. I'm very curious of how the Billy Agatha relationship plays out in comparison to the Penguin Sophia relationship. Like I'm
way nerfed
by the end of the season. But yeah, let's talk about what happens at the beginning of this episode. Agatha and Billy continue on the road before coming across a castle. Upon entering, the 2 are garbed. That's a typo, I'm sure. As well, no, I guess
Garbed. That is correct. That's a word.
That's a verb. Is garbed.
That one works in Scrabble. You'll be okay.
Awesome. I'm going to put it in my Rolodex. Garbed as the Wicked Witch of the West and Maleficent, respectively, and are presented with tarot cards. If they do not place the proper cards in the correct sequence, swords hanging from the ceiling fall down. Flashbacks of Lilia's childhood, a childhood lesson in divination, reveal that she has been experiencing her life out of order, explaining her memory lapses. Now, I do want to talk about the memory lapses in a moment, but I just want to play this clip really quickly. That's just gonna a little summation of what's going on in this episode.
Her girl. This is the safe passage spread. The first card is you, the traveler. Of course you will face obstacles. You must overcome all to reach your destination. What, no snide remarks?
That sounded good to me.
Good.
So yeah, Lilia is kind of running shit in this episode. It's definitely Lilia's episode. What did you think of this episode? Initial thoughts?
I need an initial thoughts button. Anyway,
we're past initial thoughts. We're like,
that's why I said I need an initial thoughts button, because we've already gone through that, and you say it a lot, and I think it'd be amazing. Just hit, initial thoughts.
You know what? I want a counter every time Alex does it. Just bink, bink, bink.
Oh man, I wish I could do that. Amazing. Hey, if y'all are a producer out there, we're accepting applications. But anyway,
sorry,
yeah, sorry, pity P. But well, let me just speak on how I felt about, what's her name, Lilia?
Yeah.
Lilia, yeah. Lilia's story, dope as fuck. Didn't see her being the little kid coming out, maybe somebody else did. I didn't see that coming because we didn't really stay on anything with her. It's all been pieces, fragments, leading up until this moment where we get to see those fragments all put together, and then it makes sense. Why didn't I think of that? It'd been easy. I could have just fucking rewatched all the fucking episodes, and then I would have just put her scenes together, and it makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I felt like Christopher Nolan guest directed this episode.
Yeah, it was very what is it called?
Sexy.
Frankie, was it Frankie Jenkins?
Frankie Jenkins. Who?
What's it on your arm?
Oh, Sammy Jenkins. Yeah.
Sammy Jenkins.
Yeah.
Memento. Very memento type
Very
shit,
memento.
So yeah, I thought that was dope. She is Sammy Jenkins.
Yeah.
So if you've seen Memento, you know what we're talking about. If you hadn't, punch yourself in the face and wake up and go watch goddamn Memento.
Put on a little makeup, yeah.
But yeah, what did you think about just like the time dilation and like the way that they executed the callbacks throughout the season, Jeff?
So one thing real quick that I loved was the tarot part of it. I've gotten tarot read twice. I don't really know much about it, but one of the things I was looking up is evidently they actually, so most things on TV, movies or whatever, just like, oh, it's the 2 of cups, it means you like booze, and they just make up random shit.
Right.
Evidently they used like the real meaning of each of the cards that was pulled. So that was a pretty cool thing. Also, those swords weren't CGI. Those were actual swords that they ended up dropping throughout the episode. That they had them all specifically numbered so they can know when to drop each. I think that's cool. But right? As for the time difference and everything like that, there's a book series that I really love. It's called The Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. It's about a wizard, but wizards and witches and magic, like there's people who can deal with time differently like this. And one of the things that I like that was described in that, I feel like really well describes Lily on this. And it is, if time is a river, most of us are just like a pebble or a stone in the river. And like, we like as the water goes by us, that's the amount of time we really see. But some people are like a string that was like caught on one of those rocks, and all the time touching that string is what they can experience and see at like we see a normal amount of time. So I feel like she was kind of like experiencing that, which I thought was really cool. And after they were like, hey, broke the spell you did on yourself so you could see all of it at once, I thought I was very impressed how they started it off with like almost mini time jumps where it's like, what? Why do you keep saying things that we haven't seen and things that aren't happening? And they could have just like kind of left it, but then they had what's her name? The beautiful witch. Thank you, Sashir. They had Sashir being there like, you just said this.
That's a bad
I
witch.
am in love with that woman. And like they had her there as that, like, you just said this. So that was great. But then when they started showing her getting it all back and piecing it all together, I thought they did a great job with that. There's a reason this episode was rated a 9.2 by the fans. It was spectacularly done.
Yeah, a lot of attention to detail. I kind of got Slaughterhouse 5 vibes like while watching this, because that's the only Kurt Vonnegut book I've ever read. But it also fucks around with the perception of time and how you were able to just like flow in between these different points in time. So I thought that was really cool and just like visually personified really well.
When Alex says point, you got to take a shot.
Point. Do I say that a lot? Hopefully not. Otherwise, you guys are gonna get drunk.
You say it at least,
oh no!
You say it at least 2 times an episode, and or 2 times a. Well, no, yeah. So or the does it hold up episodes?
Oh, okay, guys, take a shot every time I say the. Take a shot.
Oh no, Jesus Christ!
After
I participate in this game, you trying to kill me?
There's been a small but noticeable increase in alcohol poisoning on Monday nights. We can't figure out why.
Hell yeah, I wish that would happen. Got that McDonald's impact.
I mean, we do have dozens and dozens of fans. After falling through the mud, Lilia discovers that Rio is the personification of death, something that Agatha already knew, and she forebodes that her time is coming.
It
she
was
awakens.
Death all along.
It was death all along. She awakens Jin, and then after evading the Salem 7, they venture through the tunnels before reuniting with Agatha and Billy, and then they are dressed as Gilda, and Jin is the hag version of the evil queen. I feel like Jin was just dressed up in her own shit. She had dread. Like I'd never seen this version of.
No, I didn't.
It was the warts on the nose that gave it away.
That's what I was about to say. When we watched it on, I don't know, maybe our TV screen isn't good, but I didn't really see a lot of warts.
I thought she had freckles. Yeah, I saw them as freckles.
No, they were warts. They were warts, but it was like. Not, I don't know. That was the only thing I would say wasn't done well, is that part, and she wasn't well lit, so that didn't really show. They didn't try to, what do you call it? Exaggerate that or point an emphasis on that. And
they forgot about
it. Probably didn't look good because it's really hard to make black people ugly with makeup. I mean, no, and I'm not joking. That is an actual thing in Hollywood where makeup artists have a lot of trouble because our skin is a little tighter than most than non-African Americans or non-brown people, because they the
joke's on you guys. You don't get to look ugly. What
stupid.
Jealous.
You'll never be the penguin. You'll never be the penguin.
I felt like they kind of just ran out of design, like iconic designs. Because when they got to her, like they didn't give her anything that was like super. She looks amazing. But
what is she holding?
She's holding the apple. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's the big hint.
They did do that, but they didn't.
That's it.
Exaggerate it enough.
Oh yeah.
She shouldn't have been able to move her hand from being able, like they should have exaggerated it more. Yeah. Maybe she had a little hunch in her back. Like,
I'll say this: I only knew who she was because I read the IMDb trivia.
Yeah, I think she should have came back
immediately. It just wasn't done well, and I feel like there's no, like, you know what I'm saying. It's like I don't think anybody else is gonna get this. Like, you know what I'm saying. It was one of those moments. Like, I think I just caught this and I'm on it, but it's just like. She's kind of, but also she should be in a way just kind of to the side. This is Lilia's.
Yeah, this is
her story. We already had her story at the beginning with the potion. This is a different trial that is her trial. So I'm not mad at the.
Everybody has an iconic visual. I think she should have came back as Rachel True from The Craft. That's all I'm saying.
You know what it is? Look at her. I don't know if you can see it, but on her chin, there's a wart with hair coming out of it.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's just hard to make. It's hard to make ugly. It's hard to make hot people look ugly. Look, just give them a break.
You know what I say to that?
That's not good enough.
No, that's not. No, you can't. Look, I can't make sugar turn into shit.
To your point, it just wasn't executed as well as it could.
No, I don't think it could have been executed any better than I'm talking about. Unless they make her hold her hand like this with the apple the whole time, like just hold it with a hunch in her back. That's the only way you would have automatically just been like, oh,
okay, that's what it is.
It's just hard to make ugly people. Now, maybe you change the witch.
Yeah, like maybe
they don't have rights. Which witch is that? Is that a Disney witch?
Which one?
The one that you named.
Yeah. Oh, Rachel. No, that's Rachel's True from The Craft. Remember The Craft?
Nigga,
the black lady. The Craft. I was making a joke.
Yeah,
that wasn't a real thing.
Right. It would have had to be a Disney witch, and how many are there?
Yeah,
4.
There you go. They used
knowing the trial is hers, Lilia places the cards in their proper order.
My hand. Oh no.
Check us out for our Love Lies Bleeding review next week. Prompting everyone to flee through the exit, Lilia chooses to stay behind as the Salem 7 approach. She flips one of the cards, causing the entire room to flip, implying that most of the 7, impaling most of the 7, seemingly herself, implying that most of the 7 are impaled.
Are gonna die.
What did you guys think of this scene? Because I thought that this is like a really cool way to end it. Like showing how the dramatic turn, pun intended, and also just like the sacrifice of Lilia. What did you think of the Squid?
It was really good seeing, because in the beginning of the episode when she's talking with Jen, she's talking about like how she's afraid because the reason why she turned away from being able to see everything is because she did see her own death and she was scared about it. Mm-hmm. So we get this acceptance from her. Which is always a good thing, like, hey, you're accepting not just your fate, but also like you're scared that you're gonna die. You're a witch. You've lived hundreds of years. Everyone dies. All right. And she did it in such a heroic way, which is also, I think, pretty important. Like, all these witches have been important. They've been heroic in their trials and in their deaths. And so it was cool seeing that, and then it was cool seeing her take on the 7 like this. Although, I mean, can the 7 even die?
Yeah,
and
this is the end of the 7.
Yeah, right. And even it was the tower card that she flipped. So one of the things is, so I looked up what the cards meant. The tower card. You can feel some crisis looming along the horizon, and you are struggling as much as you can to try and avoid its manifestation. Now, in tarot, if the card's reversed, or in other words, upside down, it means the opposite of that. So when she originally flipped that card, it was saying like, hey, you got good things coming along. Be excited. Trust your intuition. So then when she flipped the card to, basically reverse gravity and kill everyone in the room, it also then it coincided with the cards meaning then too. So I was really impressed with the level of detail that they did in this episode and the symbolism, and really taking a keen interest in it and making sure that it matched up with what it's supposed to match up with. Again, there's a reason this is a 9.2.
Yeah, this is an episode where there's definitely a lot of attention to detail. Like I would not be, I haven't even looked at the director of this episode, but I feel like whoever directed this episode is going to get all the offers in the world next year. We're going to see them like directing like the next fucking like Shang-Chi 2 or some shit like that.
Jack Schaefer.
Oh, it was Jack Schaefer? Oh, no wonder. It was the showrunner.
She's amazing.
Yeah, Jack Schaefer's great. Can
I give my top 3 songs for Halloween? Top 3 songs with the title, with blood in the title, or dealing with blood in the title.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. I swear to God, if this is a Maxi Pack commercial.
Oh no. So
it was such low hanging fruit.
I'll go with number 3.
I'm sorry.
Blood on the Dance Floor.
Blood on the dance floor.
Where's my? There we go.
I was like, where's the tings?
Yeah, number 2, Hot Blooded.
Hot Blooded, that's a good one.
And I already kind of spoiled this one, but also number 1, it's gonna be
In My Hands.
No, Hemorrhage.
Oh, Hemorrhage.
That's the name of the song. That's actually Hemorrhage by Fuel.
Yeah.
Damn, that's old. Is that wasting my time? Is that song?
No, it's
Love Lies Bleeding.
That's the one. Do they have any other songs?
Little known fact.
They have a lot of hits.
Little known facts.
They have their 3rd album is all hits.
Yeah, they ruled the Daredevil soundtrack. Little known fact: the lead singer of Fuel did not write "Love Lies Bleeding." So, just a little fun fact. He did not write that movie. Is there anything else to talk about in this episode? Yeah,
I had one more. So one of the things that I thought was really interesting was Lilia, when she's every time she's saying like, hey, this is going to happen, like people aren't like really believing her. And it reminded me of there's a Greek myth about a Trojan priestess named Cassandra, who was gifted with complete prophecy, but cursed that no one would ever believe her. So she always knew what was going to happen, and no one ever listened. It's one of the reasons why Troy fell, according to the myths. And I felt like we saw a lot of that with Lilia. There were so many different things where she's like, no, listen, and just like it's fine, let's go down this hallway. And it's like, listen to the Time Witch, motherfuckers.
You know, if this was Grotesquerie, they would have had a 15-second monologue about that exactly.
That was a good timing right there.
No.
How was that the first time this episode?
Well,
you know, that's
not a real one. Yeah. That's not a real one because see, that was actually an accident. I was trying to give him this one. But you win some, you lose some.
It all works.
Comes together like butt cheeks.
Let us know what you thought about this episode of Agatha Explains It All, and just let us know in the comments, either live or later if you're watching not so live. We're interested to know what
shout out to
Melissa Joan Hart in the next episode. I'm gonna be pissed.
Hey guys, I'm not gonna really beg. We don't.
She
do
was
that.
a witch too,
but
she was a witch.
For everybody who's watching, we don't really do that. We don't really do this, but please, we're trying to get these streams up to like 100 people. So like, let's share this with everybody. Like y'all don't have any idea how much it really helps move the channel. You guys have like, we don't control anything that goes on YouTube. You guys have all the control. We literally like don't have no secret to there is no secret to the algorithm. You really just, the only way we can keep growing and keep doing more of this content is if you guys share it. So please, well, like I said, we don't normally do all this shit, asking niggas shit, but please, help us out, man. Please.
We can't share with our friends because they're tired of hearing us talk about nerd shit. Like we can't share them. I've heard you talk about this already.
Me and Alex have been entertainers literally since we were 15 years old. Like, you gotta realize people who we know are tired of seeing all of our shit. They're like, God damn, nigga, we know you got a better life than us.
You know, I
had
a friend send me a link to his a link to one of the movies he just finished. I was like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Like he was like, what are you up to? I was like, oh, thanks, appreciate it. I'm actually a film critic. And I sent him a link. Crickets. Never texted me back. I was like, well, 2 weeks ago.
I'll tell you what. That friend and all you watching, if your friends don't check this podcast out, cut them off. They're fucking dead to you.
Yeah, you fucking cut them motherfuckers off. You know what?
Pretend you're a gigante and just get some gas in there and just let them sleep for it.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go.
That's what you tell you. That's what you tell your fucking friends who are trifling.
Just a quick shout out to Gers and Purge. She said that this episode was incredible, Memento-esque for sure. Yeah, like we were saying, this is very in the wheelhouse of Sammy Jenkins. But we're gonna move.
Show him the tattoo.
Oh yeah, I got the tattoo. Remember Sammy Jenkins.
Remember Sammy Jenkins.
I'm that nerd who loves Memento so much. I was gonna get it on my hand, but the tattoo artist was like, "Nah, dog, you're never gonna get a job if I put a tattoo right on your hand."
They gonna think you crazy if you
not like it's your neck.
They're gonna think you're absolutely insane if somebody actually knows what Memento is. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, you're hired."
As long as you just keep it going and make it an entire film themed arm, then you're fine.
It's all I got. Start with remember Sammy Jenkins, and I get every Christopher Nolan movie all the way up.
You gotta get Winnie the Pooh right after. If you get Sammy Jenkins, the next one has to be Winnie.
Next one's got to be Winnie,
especially if it's Blood and Honey Winnie the Pooh. Just terrifying people, just a blood and gore soaked Winnie the Pooh. I think it'll work.
I still have not watched those movies.
Neither have I. I hear they're awful, and I want to see them so bad. But I just can't make time.
Yeah, this is not going to be the Halloween where I watch those.
Sorry about that.
Gers and Purrs is endorsing the Christopher Nolan sleeve tattoo.
I think she was endorsing your regular.
Oh yeah, just the normal tattoo. Well, so. That's cool too. I appreciate it, Gers and Purrs. We're gonna move on to our last topic of the night. That's right. We're going to Gotham, and we're talking about. Yes, sir. It's super scary. Man, Michael Giacchino doing great shit. I actually rewatched Werewolf by Night for Halloween. And that movie still fucks. So good. Who knows that a guy who makes such creepy music could also make very creepy movies. But we're not talking about him specifically. He didn't do the music for this show.
You are.
I am. He did the music for the show, but we're talking about episode 7, Gold Summit. Oz managed to grow his empire significantly by reproducing and distributing the bliss in the underground trolley. Sophia and the Maronis kill several bliss dealers as a warning, leading Oz to decide to give away bliss for free to curry favor with other gangs. Now, I thought this was like,
why? It's because he can't stop me.
You can't stop me.
You can't stop me. They want me to quit. They want me to think I'm gonna fold up, but I'm not gonna do that, kid. We're not going out like that. They think I'm a sucker, but I'm not.
Yeah, like I thought.
How's it feel, Vic? How's it feel to be somebody who contributes to the city? Your Honor.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna play a quick clip from this video of since you were just talking about that.
What was I talking about? What do you mean?
I'm gonna play the.
You know how meaningful that is? To be the guy in the neighborhood who takes care of people. Our names are gonna live forever. To take him back Gotham!
To take him back Gotham!
That's right. It's a real clip, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, what did you guys think about this
you
opening?
You should have seen Jeff's face right before you hit it. I know what you were about to hit.
He was giving me the
I'm flipping you off, yeah.
But just his face, the fucking destitute nature of his mind, it was just sad.
Guys, if you want to know why
dogs staring at me while it shits in the house,
go watch watch
the last episode. But I'm wondering how you guys felt about the opening of this episode, because personally I was getting chills. Because we all heard that there was going to be no Batman cameo in this movie.
Oh, I thought it was because
the
air conditioner was so low.
Oh, but also that, yeah.
Air conditioner was on 69.
But I at the beginning of this, I knew that we weren't going to get a Batman cameo, but I was like, holy shit, is that Batman? When we saw
They got you?
They got me, bro. I was like, when he was riding on the motorcycle down, like,
you know,
I was
what
like, I've seen this one time from the Batman. What's going on?
You know what you falling for?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
That doesn't even.
It's the okie doke. It's the okie doke.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They set something up for you. It's not true. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You fell for the eat the cat.
I see where you're going there.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, like I got duped.
You got duped.
But
Kansas
I did
City
like
Shuffle.
But I do like the duality. Like, it's just like
earlier. Kansas City Shuffle, man.
I do like the comparison there, because we, obviously the imagery is very evocative to the Batman, where we saw him riding through these same abandoned trolleys on his motorcycle to go into the Batcave. And like we mentioned last episode, like it's like the Penguin has his own Penguin cave. Like he's got his own operation.
Shout out to Screen Rant, shout out to Screen Rant. No, it's not Screen. It's Screen Crush.
Screen Crush.
Excuse me.
Actually, yeah.
Fuck Screen Rant.
Yeah, Screen Crush's not that great.
Yeah. Shout out to Screen Crush. Did you write for? Never
I did write for Screen Rant.
I was gonna say don't answer that. Well, because I don't want to seem biased. I ain't want to seem biased, but fuck y'all. No, but y'all don't pay nobody shit. Everybody work there, don't make no money. Okay. Anyway, Screen Crush pointed out that trolleys are central to a neighborhood and don't have a hub that like connects the neighborhoods to the other parts of the city, because they didn't want poor people coming in and out of the city. Man, so if you take that form of history and apply it to this fictitious world that we're in, him saying that they cut the funding for it and all that, that means that no one actually has access to this layer unless they're in Crown Point.
Right. Huh. And that's even like more interesting that they would even like bring, like, have that be an aspect of the show. It just like adds more to it, because like not only is it this forgotten form of transportation that was beneficial for people of a certain economic status, but they literally buried it underground. And there's like, you hear things about New York where there's just like a whole city, basically
Seattle
underground.
Too. I mean, a lot of
Chicago, the second city.
Yeah, a lot of cities like that were big in the early industrial age. Definitely,
Chicago made a bit of a mistake with that one, because that's where they started the Manhattan Project. Oh, and just the fun little
how nice
corridors and walkways and parts of buildings underneath Chicago.
I believe it's all because of the fires. There was like great fires up during all those time periods. Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it was a great time to be alive.
Chicago's got another reason too, though. Chicago was built on a swamp, so like the buildings would sink into it. So like there's a thing called the Chicago entrance, where they built the entrance, and then they built the same entrance at the second floor, because eventually that would be street level.
Right. Right.
It's cool.
Technically, there's 3 cities in Chicago because one is under the ground, the ground. One's in the ground, one's on the ground, underground, and the other one.
It might be the 4th city, not the 2nd city. Yeah. Eric Neely said in the chat, just real quick, he says, "Give me $40. How much is a share worth?" I would say I'll give you 27
shares of what?
He's talking about like sharing like the show, sharing the channel.
I'll give you tree fish.
Yeah, that depends on your outreach.
Get out of here, Doctor's Master.
All you got to do is just
I'll give you a tree,
like, and keep coming back over here when every Monday. That's all you got to do, player. You here already. I was talking to the people who gonna watch this not live.
And Eric also says, someone with both hand and neck tattoos, I support this.
There you go.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, like let's talk a little bit more about like the seedy underground nature of what's going on here.
Ground Point,
because
don't be disrespectful.
Yeah, like And I feel like there's so many bad neighborhoods in the Batman. I've not heard anybody say the words crime alley yet, but that's probably not going to happen. But I do like the just like the idea that Oz is sort of like on top by the beginning of the episode, and then Sophia kind of gets the upper hand by this act of violence, and then Oz makes this other decision to just get like on top again. Like it's chess, not checkers. Like, I really pivot.
Shut up!
Do you guys like the tug of war that's going on in this episode?
I never even thought about the tug of war element, but yes, that was very interesting. But it was very tropey. I don't know, because I know that the Penguin is not going to die. That's what I'm saying. Like that's our main character. Not only is it our main character, but he's the Rose, baby. He in the Rose.
Yeah, he's in the Rose Gallery.
So I didn't feel like the suspense as much as I should have. But to your point, the music be getting you.
Yeah.
My heart be running hard. And I'm like, God damn, nigga, this is not real. But my motherfucking the music, I'm like, God damn it, this motherfucker get me.
God damn.
It's so crazy. But anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way because I knew I wasn't gonna get that in. But yeah, this episode, the way they put it all together was beautiful, because like, for instance, the scene where they set up at the end where you were talking about, where Oz gets out of his squeeze by giving away the product and setting up a meeting with all the gangs who don't have protection from the Falcons, which is revealed to us in this episode. We didn't really necessarily know that at first, but we think that he's showing up with the drugs and the cooler, but he's showing up with beers.
Yeah, because like, they put so much importance around the cooler too. Like I like that misdirect.
And also, Sophia pointed out that earlier in the episode that Oz loves the spotlight. He can't stay hidden for too long. But we haven't actually seen that. Now we know that she has knowledge of who he is more than anyone else in this series, because he was her driver.
Right.
But this is the first time we're hearing this. And then we get to see it almost immediately with him grandstanding. And the thing with the beers is a show, right? Like excuse me, I just burped. But I'm bringing you a beer, but it's a form of symbolism.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that. Yeah.
That kind of grandstanding and performance is showing you that he has the charisma to form his own shit. And we're literally watching the beginning of the Penguin.
Yeah.
I didn't know how they were going to go with this. Like, we already seen the guy in a movie. Are we seeing, it went out. Are they trying to make this the character that we saw in Batman the main character, and is that how he's going to be? Or are they going to grow this character into something else? But I think we're growing into the Penguin. Like, he doesn't like being called the Penguin, but I think we're moving into where he'll just be calling himself the Penguin.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to be like Randall in Clerks 2, and he's going to take Porch Monkeys back. No, but I do want to talk about that last scene, because I did, like, to your point, I thought that was like a really beautifully directed scene, because there's like so much physicality and visual representation of what's going on. Like, we see the scene earlier where Sophia and Sal are sharing the like 100-year-old wine like it's nothing, and then we see Oz.
About it, though.
Yeah, she's a little upset about it, but it's like she's not like,
especially when he pours it into the pot.
Right.
Yeah, he's using it for cooking.
He didn't want to do. He just did that shit. He ain't need to do that. It was too much wine.
It's too much wine. But
That's never gonna burn off. I'm sorry.
The comparison between that and you see Oz tossing around beers is just like a very much a social, like a visual representation of it. It's like the social differences between the two,
right?
And how like all of us are on the same level, but we want to rise up. But like, and that's a cool symbolism in and of itself, but also just like the audible, like visual cue of just like cracking the beer being the acceptance. It's like all you have to do is like that's just like such a beautiful and also directed scene.
And also the younglings, the underlings didn't crack their beers until their leaders cracked their beers.
Right. Yeah, I
thought that could have been a fatal move if they had.
Right?
I was like, are you about to crack your beer?
No. So to your point,
especially
Jeff,
with Zhao.
Zhao, yeah.
Exactly. And to your point, Jeff, I'm gonna throw it to you, but I thought that we were gonna get a double cross where now, hey, the youth are hearing this great opportunity, but the old heads was holding on to
not
it.
Feeling it. Yeah.
I thought we was gonna get one of them because everybody was behind them in such a way where it could have been a murder she wrote.
No. I agree with you, especially with Zhao's
on that murder she wrote and give it to Jeff.
Especially with Zhao's underling. It was like Zhao's taking his time. And that kid looks like he really wants to drink that beer. Who knows? I don't know. I gotta say, that scene for me, I mean, I feel like it was the most unrealistic part of the episode, maybe the series. I mean, Oz was throwing all of those cans and none of them exploded when they popped the tab. Get the fuck out of here. Come on. Just not. It was a great scene for multiple reasons. One, Colin Farrell, fantastic monologue. He really gave a great speech and it fit Oz's character so perfectly. Not just like, hey, we deserve this as well. Like, yeah, people look down on us, but we can step up. Like, that's so Oz's character's character, you know? Mm-hmm. And doing it with the beers then was a really great way of showing that and really sticking with who he is. And I don't know about you guys, but they also did a great job of like, are those beers poison? Did Oz find a way to poison the beers? Like, they put so many layers into it. And then at the end, like, and the last part of that just came across so perfectly was just Oz goes and stops and just that little smile to himself before he takes that sip was so perfectly done. It was one of those scenes where, I mean, so much of acting is the nonverbal, and yes, that one's a pretty big, obvious one. They took measures to make sure we noted it. But still, it was well done, well acted, well directed, well written. Every part of that scene was exactly what it should have been. And yeah, I also loved earlier in this episode, after Vic goes, plop, plop, when Oz is like grabbing him and he's like, hey, you okay? Like, all right, okay. And then he just pulls him in and he's just got him. And I feel like Oz is protecting his investment in Vic, but also, and it's us seeing Oz's humanity. But I also like that leads me to wonder, like, okay, after Oz's first kill, did someone do this for him? And if not, was this what he wished someone had done for him? This entire episode I was very happy with.
Yeah, and I want to touch on Oz's
Juice's dick.
I mean, yes, but also point and touch. Those I'm telling you, those are, I gotta get buttons for those two. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Touch on. You want to touch on?
But I do want to talk about Penguin's humanity and his like how he's humanized in this show a little bit, because we get a lot of moments in this episode, a lot of moments throughout the episode, throughout the show, but definitely in this episode where we get to see the horrible effects of his nature, and there's like also the better angels of his nature. I'm gonna let some.
Why do we talk the same? We were trying to say something, and then we just yeah. I'm just saying
we grew up in the same house. I don't know.
You cheating off my papers this whole time? No,
I'm just gonna play this clip of someone who is much smarter.
You know how meaningful that is? To be the guy in the neighborhood who takes care of people.
Oh no, shit! I forgot.
This is your new titty video.
No, I meant to grab a clip. I didn't grab it. But anyway, but yeah, like there's this behind.
Thank you. Oh, our nips just touched. Mine are so hard.
Mine are different sizes.
That was me this time.
I saw that fucking hand. I know.
That is Sophia Gigante for anybody who is new to the show.
They're eating the dog.
Sorry, it's almost election.
But no, I do love how Penguin has these really sincere moments where like even though we know how terrible of a person he is, we still have these moments where he's like gingerly helping his mom out of the bathtub after she's been like in this freezing cold water for who knows how long.
Hour or two.
I mean, who knows?
They made it seem like it was overnight.
She wasn't pruny. A couple hours.
How close were you looking?
She wasn't pruny. Save her hands. She wasn't pruny. She touched his face.
That would be hilarious if the actress was just like, no, I need to stay in here for 6 hours until my skin gets pruny.
It needs to be the perfect level of prune.
They were like, why? It's crazy. She keeps talking like that, even though we're not filming. It's wild. Worst New York accent needs to go on a Drunkies Award.
No, worst New York accent?
We can watch.
Is it going to be weird when we're just the ones always winning it?
No, I'll take my award
when it goes to the drunk Banthas.
You know what?
Year.
Maybe we should have awards for like give an award for our like create categories for ourselves.
I think those are considered superlatives.
So
most likely to fuck up an accent.
No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Most likely to order the white rice.
Exactly. No, you know what? I'm going with it. No, we're getting awards.
We can create fake awards for everybody. Make sure everybody gets one.
You know what? I'm going to create a different award show, and it'll be for just us.
Justice.
Well, you know what? It'll be for YouTube.
It'll
YouTube
be for justice.
It'll be a YouTube. You know what? Fuck YouTube. Excuse me. I love YouTube. I would never say something.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that, but I am going to come up with my own award show for YouTubers. If nobody, who cares? I'm gonna do it. Go ahead, Alex.
Who cares?
Go ahead.
You can buy trophies that are beer mugs.
Oh man, yeah. Beer mugs with Bantha heads on them or some shit.
I do want to talk about just like really quick. What?
I'm just looking at the screen.
Oh.
You got to text me that because text me that. That might be the Drunkie Award this year. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. So yeah, like we do get this scene with Sophia where she goes to visit Oz's girlfriend Eve. Sophia discovers a photo of Eve at Oz's apartment, and then she visits her, initially threatening to kill her.
No, did she?
Well, I mean, like she's pointing.
It was implied.
Maybe it's
all about the implication.
A gun is also protection, you know. She's a little woman, like Sophia's a little bitty ass girl. She's doing a little prostitution.
I mean, she is a white woman in America with lots of money and a fancy coat.
Exactly.
Her excuse would be it's for protection.
Exactly, and she's around. Yeah. Prostitutes can fight. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she looks scrappy. Fight. I mean, she don't look no easy fight.
Right.
Note to the audience: prostitutes can fight.
You know what? You are right. And let me get this right when it clips it, it'll be good on time. Everybody, remember, your friend Bill, your favorite cousin told you, be careful when you fight a prostitute because prostitutes can fight.
So Sophia visits Eve.
God, that's what we got to do. We got to make those PSAs.
Oh my God.
That would be great.
Hey, anybody, Nerds at Night, the whole crew, if you're watching, that's what you do. I'll do it. God damn it.
So, in this episode, Sophia visits Eve, initially threatening to kill her to get to Oz, but Eve gives up his location after Sophia reveals Oz was aware of the true identity of the Hangman. Now, I want to play this clip real quick because I thought it was like pretty interesting. Just like the
I don't know which way you're gonna fuck with me now.
Her girls, maybe the strongest family unit we have on the show.
It breaks Sophia's heart when she realizes that Eve has more of a family than she ever will, and I think it really hits home her own loneliness.
Yeah, like what did you guys think about this relationship between the two of them, like in this scene?
Man, no, man, not bad because you just that bitch just said everything I was gonna say. The fuck wrong with you, man? Why you gonna step on everything that I'm gonna say? And I ain't even watched that. You went and cheated.
Well,
yeah,
God. And
we don't have production meetings from now on.
I'll tell you what, the important part about that they didn't say was that Eve was also at peace with this choice. Eve wasn't like, yeah, she was obviously afraid she was going to die, but she had accepted, and she happily accepted her life for her girls' lives. And it was very graceful the way she did all of it. And she was just sitting there with her glass and just said like, so, okay, you're going to kill me. And just, yeah, please don't. And that was also the interesting part is, yeah, Eve gave up Oz's location and everything, but it wasn't until Sophia spared her life. And I don't know, it's just interesting because Sophia, yeah, Kirstyn put it beautifully that so it broke Sophia's heart seeing that Eve has this thing that she never had. But also I think that she was so impressed by it that she then decided to spare Eve's life. Because I agree with you, she was going there to murder a bitch. But after she saw, I don't know if it was she was impressed by the love that she had for them, or maybe the loyalty, but something about that was what changed Sophia's mind. And that was really interesting as well. And it's nice to see that when you decide not to murder someone, you get rewarded.
Yeah, that's always nice.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, like yeah, it's like, to your point, yeah, it's a very interesting like character moment where you realize exactly how smart Eve is. Like she's not giving any information away until she really realizes that, oh, she's really not gonna kill me.
Yeah.
So like I appreciate how her knowledge of the situation is like, oh, she's not telling me this just to fuck with me. She let me live. She definitely has no reason to lie to me at this point. Let me give her the information that she wants. Yeah, like I thought it was great. I thought it was a great scene. And yeah, to the directors and the Kirstyn IG.
Yeah, I think that's her name. Yeah, I mean, that's how it's spelled. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Again, once it's made, it'll be way easier.
But yeah, like to their point, I felt like it was a very like one of the most human moments of the episode, because it's weird where Sophia is like, man, I don't even have this connection with my real family. You've created this family.
Well, in her family's defense, they're all very dead now.
But they're all very dead because
of a freak accident. Nobody knows what happened.
Nobody knows what happened.
I don't know what y'all are talking about. My girl Sophia, she don't do nobody like that. Y'all need to quit. Y'all just hate on brown hair girls. Y'all don't like brown hair. Y'all like blonde girls.
No, I don't like the messy mullet. That's what I don't like.
Yeah,
I love
you know what?
It's very Joan Jett. I'm loving it.
It's very LA. And Gotham. I don't know if Gotham has that kind of haircut. I just don't know, man.
They're gonna. But the other interesting part about this scene, I'm sorry, real quickly, that I really enjoyed was Eve didn't have any rose-tinted glasses or any illusions of what her and Oz's relationship was. She described it very perfectly. Like, yes, it's transactional, but we do actually like care for each other a bit. It's nowhere near like a romance, but it is, it's I would say not a romance, but an affection. And I was just really interested about how it also goes to show just how long Eve's been in the game, that there was literally no illusions. She knew exactly what their relationship was. And again, that's also part of why she didn't betray Oz until everything. Because that's the other thing. It wasn't just that Sophia let her live. It was Sophia let her live. Sophia wasn't going to go after any of her girls regardless. And the information about Oz's true nature, all of it together is what made her make that decision. It was just, again, another great part of this episode.
Yeah, I like, honestly, that I do want to talk about that a little bit, because that was a thing that I didn't really think about until I saw this scene play out, is the fact that Oz lied to her about this, like the Oz's betrayal of Eve in this specific thing, like the fact that he didn't reveal who the hangman actually was. And it just like is more of an example of just how like these little lies will just turn into big lies, and then you're like, you don't even know who this other person is.
Snowball becomes an avalanche.
Exactly.
Yeah, little lies turn into big lies.
I forgot that I had like another clip just like about
Tell me sweet little lies.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
I do have this one clip from that scene where they're talking about like where she's revealing who the hangman is or whatever.
Liz, thank you. Oh, our nips just touched. Mine are so hard.
Mine are different sizes.
Do you think they're hard because she's excited? Do you think they're hard because she's cold? Or do you think they're hard because they're fake?
Yes.
The Drunk Banthas podcast, asking the important questions.
Anytime he speaks like that, I'm just need to give him a round. That emphasis, man. He could be a politician.
Hey, when white people start speaking like real passionate, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna clap for that.
Yeah, nothing bad happens after that.
Eric, I just want to let you know, Eric. Yes, we call them sex workers now. I said prostitutes. Prostitutes can fight, but they also are prostitutes. So,
actual question: is prostitute considered an offensive term?
Yeah, exactly. I
actually don't know.
I support all prostitutes and all types of sex workers.
I thought sex worker was the overall term, and I thought prostitute was like a part of sex worker.
Well, yeah, exactly. But they're all sex workers, and they're all sex workers, and I will call them prostitutes because they are prostitutes, because that is not a demeaning term.
Kind of like we work in construction. It's like, okay, but you're a carpenter specifically.
That's right, because all sex work is real work.
Is
real quick, I think the most important part is wait. The fifth Bantha gave out 5 memberships right after you said that.
Bing, 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 bing.
Sorry. I'm sorry, I completely cut you off, Alex.
No, I'm pondering: is prostitutes to sex workers as to colored people to African Americans?
I think it's the other way around. If it's is prostitute to sex worker the way African Americans are to color, right?
No, colored people is like outdated.
But
and
I'm sorry. I thought you were saying it in the sense that people of color encompasses more than just African Americans.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, actually, you were coming from it from a more intellectual standpoint, and I was just like coming from a point. It was like, this is shit that people don't say no more.
That's why he got the boo from the boo. Why you booing me? I'm right.
Very fair. I didn't even realize what I was saying while I was saying it, and I've been drinking water.
Yeah. So have we.
That's
accidental racism.
Anyway, we're talking about the penguin.
Let's
talk about that.
Could you imagine if we did a 3-hour podcast where it's just like, all right, what do you guys got to talk about? And we just went off on every tangent.
You can find that every Thursday at 10 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific time at the Bantha Bud Show with your favorite cousin, Bill Lee.
But like at the end of this episode, Francis and Victor dance to music after power is restored to the crown point, just as Sophia enters with a crowbar. Now, this was a creepy scene. Sophia is holding a crowbar, as we all know, is as a Batman nerds, we know that this is a very
under the red hood.
Yeah, it's a very ominous weapon to be used. Do you think that something similar could happen to like the Jason Todd situation, or do you feel like this could? I'm gonna play like just like this ending of this episode real quick. But do you feel like this is gonna end that way, or do you feel like maybe this is gonna end up like a Batman 66 situation where we see them as hostages and like all tied up? And then Penguin's going to come save him at the end.
So I think that it's either going to be that. I think it's either going to be Sophia's going to kill them, or I think it's going to not be that. Yeah. So no. So I'm just
good observation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm really interested because they're clearly going to go one. I think no matter what, someone's going to die. Now, my question is, I'm wondering, do they go with the Francis angle? Because that will absolutely hit Oz harder. But also, so do they go that? Or is the crowbar exactly what you said? Is it that foreshadowing for us Batman nerds, and it will be his protege, his Robin, you know? But then a part of me comes back to, or is that to throw us off? Is that to throw the nerds off and make us think it'll be to kill the protege, and they're going to twist it on us and kill it? And yeah, they're going to kill his mom. So honestly, I just have no clue which direction they're going with this. I think one's going to die and one's going to live. I just don't. I mean, it has to be mom. It's got to be exactly what you said in the chat there. It has to be mom dies and Vic lives. It's the only way I can see it happening.
You know what I think? And I'm not a prediction guy. I even hate to say this because I hope it doesn't come true and that I predicted it.
Oh, I love it when that happens.
I hate it,
especially when you do it because you hate it.
I hate it. I love it. But what I would expect to happen is that mom dies. Penguin gets so mad that Vic didn't protect her.
Oh,
kills him.
You just want Vic to die.
I don't want Vic to die. I just feel like that would be like the most emotionally like evocative and understandable thing, because we know Penguin to be a very impulsive person, especially when it comes to being especially when it comes to his mom. So I feel like if something happened with his mom, he would just be like so erratic in that moment, even with somebody that he loves and cares about,
right?
That he would just like go off the handle and kill him. And after seeing their connection through the season, I feel like it would be so shocking to the audience to see him kill his protege. Like
the next episode is the penultimate.
Yeah. We got 2 left.
I think she kills the mom, leaves Vic to let him know he's the one who killed his mom. She's the one who killed his mom. And then at the same time, or keeps Vic, right? Kidnaps Vic.
Yeah. Has them all tied up and shit.
Because she know he's his little pet, right? Got to get weird with it. Hurt him, right? She said she want to hurt him more than he wants her. She wants him to know pain. So,
yeah.
So I think that, one of those things happens, and then we get the last episode, Sophia dies. And big the reason I say that is the Gigantes in the comic books. Well, no, you know what? I'm gonna do the Penguin. The Gigantes in the comic books, they don't matter. They not there. It's about the Maronis and the Falcons.
I'm sorry. Do they matter?
The Gigantes?
Mm-hmm.
They don't matter.
I mean, I teed that up.
You really teed it.
Well, you know what?
You
know what? I stopped
too many
using
buttons.
Yeah, I stopped using it.
All right.
I don't even know what. I don't know what.
Well, I'll say this: Alex's theory about he gets so mad that he ends up killing Vic for not protecting his mom might actually also work really well in a storytelling. It might work really well because a part of this show is as bad as Penguin is, we're still rooting for him, but he is the villain, and he is, and I think they want him to be the villain. So if they end up going that route where it's your theory where he ends up killing Vic, that will solidify the villain part and make us distance ourselves from him, which will make it easier to make him the bad guy in future movies and things.
Yeah, and one of the things that I really like about just like the show in general, like the more I'm watching it, I want to shout out Eric real quick while we got the comment up. I was just joking, but I think it's to take away the negative connotation of the word.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Eric? You say shit like that to someone with ADD and we go off on a goddamn tangent.
What did he say?
That's in reference to the it's sex workers now.
Oh, sex workers. Oh,
yeah. You know what?
Yeah, we did go off on like a 20-minute.
That's your fault for showing me something shiny.
No, it's not. It was because I wanted to get the goddamn bit in. I know, like I'm saying, it was like totally for comedy, but it was like 25 minutes of just us bullshit just because of that one comment. Also, just
guys,
like now,
please keep commenting.
No, but anyway, go ahead.
Damn, what were we talking about? The Penguin?
So the idea that Penguin killing Vic could be a story, a way to move the story forward to have us hate him more, so they can use him as that good villain.
Right. No, yeah. Look, I think that Vic, I've said it since the beginning. I think that Vic, every bad guy has to have a henchman, like a main dog. And I think that that's what Vic is going to be for him going forward in the next season. You know what I'm saying? I mean, next season, in the next movie, you'll have Vic. Think about how much older he'll be by the time the next movie comes out. The actor himself. So we'll see a natural progression of a person who's gone from being a kid who just had terrible times, like falls on real hard times, develops into this killer, which we can segue into because he ends up killing Squid, R.I.P. Squid.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing.
And so they end up killing him, right? He ends up killing him. He's developing into what all gangsters really come from. All killers who are in the streets, in the hood, they come from having hard times, being pressed in hard situations, in terrible situations, no opportunities or lack of opportunities, and then they end up getting caught up in the system or in the streets. So I think it's a beautiful story if they do it the way that I'm talking about, because think about Batman showing up to meet the Penguin. I need to get some information. I know who I need to go talk to. I need to go talk to this fat motherfucker. And then so he goes over there and talks to him, and who's standing there? Vic.
Right.
Vic standing there like, nah, motherfucker.
Nah, you talking to me. You fucking with me.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see a Vic Batman throwdown. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah.
That's what,
Go outside. And to your point, like two things. Like I love how like this film saga, as you would like maybe want to call it, like all this movie and this TV show, how they're building the lore of Gotham. Gotham is basically the worst place in America. So, like, of course, there's going to be corruption on every level, and of course, there's going to be all this terrible crime. And like, I like how they tackle that as far as just like the socioeconomic level, like not just like Batman has to fight all these bad guys, but how does that affect the community? And I feel like this show is like a really good way of just talking about all that. But also, I love, as we've been going through the show, I like how it establishes this lore for this character and all these characters, this mob lore for this for Gotham, where they can be peripheral. Like, they don't have to be the villain of the next movie, but like we could see Penguin for like 2 seconds in the next movie, or just understand his place in the world and still appreciate it without him having to be the focal point. Like, we could have maybe like fucking the Black Mask show up in the final episode, but he's not going to be like in Black Mask will be the villain of the next episode.
Cool. I'd be cool with that. He's a great villain.
I like the idea of like building this world. Like, Penguin doesn't have to be the villain of the next movie. Like that can have to be the continuation of the show.
He's a part of the city.
Yeah, he's part of the city.
He's still going to be part of the city, and he's gonna. It doesn't exist without him being there, right? The way Gotham is constructed at this moment is changing and is going to change. That's the point of the whole story, in my opinion. Like, they need to, instead of just the Batman came out, you saw it, you got these characters, now we move on to the next movie. You know who these people are, whatever. Things changed. And, a bunch of exposition to try to tell you how to catch up to what's going on. They're just going to tell you what happened and just move you on into the next thing. Shout out to, well, you know what? I was about to say shout out to Gunn, but you know what?
Oh, James Gunn?
But this was in the bag before he got there.
I don't think anything Gunn does will have anything to do with this version of Batman.
I think
this is year 2 Batman,
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think that he was a part of greenlit lighting this show. And I might be wrong about that. He might not have been there when they greenlit the show yet. Or he might not have been there yet when they greenlit the show. But right. I do think I do want to hold back on giving him credit.
Yeah.
Because let's get the second one. Let's get the second one and let's see what happens.
Well, I will say,
or another movie. Period. Is anything coming out other than the shitty Joker movie? Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, yeah, they've been taking their time with the Batman 2. I think they're talking about Green this Lantern coming out in like 2026.
I'm talking about anything other than Batman, but Green Lantern.
Superman movies, the thing that they've been working on. Then they've got a couple of animated ones that are coming out all around DC. It's a mess.
It's a mess,
but yeah, I have faith in James Gunn, because like I did my little review of Aquaman 2, where I also just like ranked all of my favorite DC movies, and my top 3 DC things my top 2 DC things were Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad.
Yes,
like those are my favorite.
3.
I said no, that changed.
He whittled it down to 2.
Yeah, changes to 2.
Wouldn't have even started the dings for that.
By the way,
sorry,
Bill. James Gunn was brought in October 22. Filming for this began March 23. So you're right.
So yeah, okay. So he gets the nod on this.
Yeah.
So
he might.
So I mean, so I'm not thinking. I'm not saying he had anything to do with the making of it. I'm just saying the green lighting.
Yeah,
it was a good idea.
And honestly, like when I
it was
heard
probably
about
more
this show
Colin Farrell than it was anybody, to be honest.
Right.
And when I heard about this show being developed, like I heard a lot of different things. Like it sounded like a GCPD TV show at one point.
I mean, that's what was pitched.
Yeah, like and I feel like maybe there was a lot of a lot of people have inputs on these types of shows before it ends up turning into what we see on screen, especially when it's a big property like this. But guys, let us know what you thought about this episode, how you feel the show might turn out in the end, how this might bleed into Batman 2.
So 2 fun little trivia things in this. So at one point during the summit, when Oz is saying like, "Oh, Sullivan's or whoever, you were the first gang in Gotham," that's comic accurate. And 2, I mean, in the comics they were just called the Irish Mob, but still, they were the same people. It was the Sullivans. And then 2, sorry,
the guys with the sweatshirts, the hoodies.
Yeah, the ones with the very thick Irish accent. Yes, that one.
Oh wait, so I actually have a clip of that scene.
Oh, motherfucker.
Yes, thank you. Oh, our nips just touched. Mine are so hard.
Mine are different sizes.
Thing. And then when Oz is giving that speech, he points. He's like, "Oh, the Elliott Bridge." That is like Tommy Elliott, the Elliots, who, as we know, is one of the best villains in all of Batman's. I want to say haberdashery, but that's hats.
Rogues Gallery.
That's the one.
I wanted to be haberdashery in the fucking Tony Baker, the haberdashery and the hemoglobins. Oh man, what man?
But yeah, the only other thing was just, I just think this was the perfect ending to an episode. That was the only other thing I wanted to say.
Man, that was a perfect ending to an answer.
Yeah, it was a great ending to an episode, and like because it was so heartwarming and then so like terrifying and foreboding all at the same time.
Well, and Film Age brought it up earlier in the chat. He said we also see Sophia has a look of reluctance in that scene too. So there is a question of, is she going to kill? Is she just going to fucking walk out? I mean, she's not. She's going to fucking murder. But yeah, that look of hesitation.
You know, I feel like it's more. I mean, I feel like it's the genius of this actress where she's able to put on this Mona Lisa type face where like you can interpret whatever you want from like her face. Like she is doing such a great job of reacting to this scene that like no matter like whatever you want her to do or what you're expecting her to do, that's what's showing up on her face.
Dude, my wife knows how to act.
You know, I actually have a clip of that scene where you see her face.
These are good.
Thank you. Oh, our nips just touched. Mine are so hard.
Mine are different sizes.
We have to figure out somehow.
I do.
To figure some kind of way to avoid that from happening. I'm gonna have to. Me and Jeff are gonna figure out a whole new.
I mean, I think you could just turn the heat up and that'll stop happening.
2 more episodes and then I'm done.
Hopefully, she's
Bullshit.
Other show.
If that doesn't come out during the drunkies, I will be amazed.
We'll have an award show for best drop.
You know, actually, you know, you're right. Yes, the Penguin is definitely going to be a nominee. Well, probably.
Hell yeah.
There's so much. There's
What do
so
you mean,
much.
probably? This is too good.
Well, look, man,
It actually is.
it's a
really
very. It's a very.
You wanted me to
the
show
voting process. The voting process and nomination process is a rich tapestry.
It's okay. Let me show you what's in the make. And then now, be in mind, there can only be 5.
There can
right
only
now,
be 1. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Right now, you got the ding.
What's the category going to be for this one?
Best drama series.
Okay.
But I guess best high concept drama series. So
it's just best drama.
You got a ding? You got.
I do indeed.
All right. So we got Shogun, Halo Season 2, Fallout.
I already have your answer.
Hot D, The Boys, Dark Matter, and The Penguin.
I say boot Halo.
Oh, boot Halo too?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was so hard.
That really was.
So then we got to boot one more. Honestly, I might. I might get rid of
that
Dark Matter.
Off the Penguin.
I think Dark Matter is less likely to win an award. I don't know.
Like
now, if it was me personally, I'd boot Hot D.
You know what? Honestly, I would probably feel the same way, but I also like and thinking about like the votes is like, if I could leave dark matter on the ballot, how many people are actually going to vote for it? Because how many people actually saw it? Yeah. But Hot D people actually people watch that. But I feel like Dark Matter was a better season than this last season of Hot D.
And Halo, honestly, because it had drama, but I mean, it's finally riding the line between drama and action.
I was giving it the comeback award more than anything because I felt like it was so much better than the first season.
Put it in that category.
There's no I don't know. I had to come up with a whole new category and they have to watch
the Kim Kardashian award. It's fine. Yeah. What's up, Chris Pratt bloopers?
What's going on?
I just want to go to these chats before we get out of here.
Fifth Bantha says, I think there are always two Gothams. The one above is beautiful and ritzy, but below it is indeed a shithole. Allegory for classism in real life. He also says, boot Halo, and the rest I can't choose between them. And I agree with Jeff on that. Duh. Dark Matter was so good. It's like Foundation, though, in popularity and quality.
Bam.
Yeah, and that's actually why I left Foundation off the ballot last year, because I was like, nobody's going to vote for this. Nobody saw it.
Yeah, and he just didn't want to see his baby lose.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to be the only person who votes for it. I'm going to be so sad.
He said, baby, don't you want to try another sport? Sweetheart.
What if, could you do like a deep cuts category? And it doesn't matter if it's drama, action, comedy, whatever, but like one that's just, you take all your favorites that just don't fit somewhere else and you put them in a category.
Yeah. Put all of the weird ones. We'll call it the weird show category.
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, best show you never watched.
No. Weird show category.
Weird show category. Well, all the shows are weird. That's the whole point.
No. These are the ones that were so weird nobody else has seen them. That's what we're doing. It's official, goddammit.
We're gonna workshop the title.
The people have spoken.
I like the category.
You hear them, people? That's it.
Like guys, let us know what you thought about this episode of Penguin. What are you thinking about the season? I feel like Squid has a thing.
By the way, ADDing the fuck out. Shogun. I turned on Shudder the other day, and Shudder also has just their live TV thing going. Dude, Hiroyuki Sanada, the main guy in Shogun, he was in the original Japanese version of The Ring too. He's the love interest in that.
Oh, damn.
Right?
That in so long.
Correct.
Mind blown.
Yeah. That guy's just such a great actor.
You literally just rang my bell.
My God. Ring my bell. I'm not gonna sing that. Squid. Where can people find
I'll
you?
cut the music off right. Do it.
No.
Okay, never mind.
I'm not gonna
all right. Thank you for asking. You can find me after Alex sings that fucking song.
Well, Brian, been the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every Monday.
You can try and Skype me at Don Cheadle's driveway at littlediggy2.com. It's because of the hackers. I'm really interested in like 7 years when he's not even doing music anymore, and I'm still saying that. Anyway, you can find Jeff Madel on Facebook, at Madel Jeff on Instagram, but the easiest place is to always just be here on Monday nights.
See, you never have to worry about him not being known because just the name, the title alone just seems like you got doxxed at the
very. Thank you for listening to the.
I might start doing the Mark After Dark thing where I do that.
Oh yeah, please do that. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, but don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, Letterboxd, likewise all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little crowbars, and may the force be with you.
Peace.